Warm welcome to you all the viewers from all over the world. So, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on which corner of the world you are from. This is our first Art Meets Mind program. It's a live event. We're holding on to Zoom and streaming live on Facebook. So, it will be available on Facebook pages of Living Mind Stress Free, Living Mind and Amar Porichoy. And if you want to spread it out more, please feel free to share to any of the groups or your friends personally or to the groups. So I'll start with a quotation, really something is very close to my heart. I dream my painting and I paint my dream came from none other than Vincent van Gogh, one of the famous post-impressionism era artists. And this is where we are going to bring the interaction between the emotional well-being and the art in different forms. But in this particular event, we are going to showcase an extraordinary talent from India. And we are going to hold a virtual art exhibition by Bappy Sinha. So he is our main artist on focus today. I am honored to be joined by Dr. Sarmila Sinha, consultant psychiatrist and founder director of Living Mind Stress Free, a fantastic well-being organization who is also very keen to promote art and the mental health. So we will have discussion together with the virtual art exhibition. Shelly Sinha from India, she will join us, and her skills are mainly in social media and promoting the event, and she has done a fantastic job in spreading the awareness, particularly of this event in India and also outside India. So I will talk you through briefly. The art exhibition will be in 3 parts. So the first part, we are going to showcase 3 specific artworks made by Bappy. We'll have a discussion around it with Bappy and with Dr. Sinha. We'll think from art perspective and mental health perspective. We'll have second lot of artwork, another 3 pieces. And please stay tuned till the end because Bappy has specifically worked tirelessly for this program only and produced a fantastic 3 art pieces. So please stay tuned till the end of the program. We are delighted to be supported by 2 charities, Sangeet Foundation, where Jayanta will be coming live. He's the co-founder director. And we're also supported by Ipson mental health charity, Julie Mattinson from Swindon. At the end, in the middle, we'll have a fantastic singer. I'm not going to tell you which song. I think you have to wait and watch the performance, but I can tell you that you won't be disappointed. And at the end of the program, we'll have another piece of art, but it's a dance performance by 3 beautiful ladies. And that is all about positivity. So we are going to showcase 3 types of art, but mainly we'll focus on Bappy's artwork today. At the end, we'll take questions from the viewers. So please feel free to write any questions that you have related to this program. We'll try our best, Dr. Sinha and myself will try our best to answer the questions. If anything is related to Shelly or Bappy, we'll also direct the questions to them. So without a further ado, we'll go to the, I'm delighted to introduce Dr. Sinha. Who is the co-founder director of Living Life Stress Free. And her main interest really is the stress management. So Dr. Sinha, can we have you on the screen, please? Yes. So thank you so much. And I'm delighted to co-host this event with you.
Thank
So,
you.
so tell me a bit more about your organization. Very keen to hear that.
Thank you, Dr. Arghya Sarkhel. Thanks, Malini, for hosting this wonderful Art Meets Mind exhibition, online exhibition. I'm so delighted to be part of it. So my name is Dr. Sarmila Sinha. I'm a psychiatrist, and I have been working in the NHS in the UK for a number of years. And I founded this wellbeing center called Living Life Stress-Free with the aim of providing stress management workshops, courses, one-to-one coaching on lifestyle psychiatry, well-being, workplace well-being, stress management, resilience, and other things. So I'm really excited because we are reaching a lot of people, a lot of organizations, and people are becoming more and more aware of stress, and they want to find ways on how to manage it. So our organization, we are based in London, but we offer online courses as well as coaching programs. So yes, so that's in a nutshell what we do, Dr. Sarkhel.
Right. So perhaps, particularly as a psychiatrist, just wanted to know from your point of view that what is art therapy and what's your understanding? How do you think art therapy can help in our emotional well-being?
Yes, I think art therapy is actually recognized as a form of psychological treatment, psychotherapy even, because it uses art media as a mode of expression and communication. So there are a lot of therapists who actually encourage, and I have seen like a lot of convicts even, and even people with severe and enduring mental illness, they find some kind of relief and stress management strategies through art, through their expression. And there are different forms of art therapy, but today we are focusing more on the visual arts. So yeah, so the visual arts, and this is a medium to address emotional issues, which may be confusing and distressing. And sometimes by writing, by drawing, sketching, painting, people can express a lot of their inner turmoil through the medium of art. So I think it can help a lot in mental illness, and it can be used in a very broad range. So, I know, Dr. Sarkhel, you're interested in mindfulness. And actually there is mindfulness drawing, mindfulness coloring, and they all become part of this art therapy, because it is a form of raising awareness of what the mind is going through. And by allowing itself to calm down, appreciate different colors, appreciate the different mediums, textures, and so on. So I'm really pleased that we are doing this art exhibition, because we want to raise awareness on mental health through this platform.
Right. Thank you so much. So now that we have heard from Dr. Sinha, let's just watch a little clip from Living Life Stress-Free. Let's see what a wonderful work they have been doing over the last few years.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm a consultant psychiatrist and the founder of Living Life Stress-Free.
That is a fantastic short video. I'm sure that your work has been doing a lot more than what is shown in this little video clip. But yes, it's such a wonderful integrative way of tackling the mental health, very much needed, especially at this time in the whole world. So if we can now introduce our focus of the event today, which is none other than an extraordinary talent from India, and he is Bappy Sinha from Assam. So, if I can introduce Bappy, so Bappy is originally from a place called Silchar in Assam, and he's our guest artist today. Um, and I will ask Bappy to introduce himself, just for the viewers to know that we can have conversations in English, Hindi, and Bengali from time to time, but we'll always try and translate that into English for all the viewers across the world. Um, and again, it shows it doesn't matter where the talent is coming from, what language you speak, where are we from, the talent got to be recognized. And that's one of our mottos today. So Bappy, you are an art student from Assam, India, and I understand that you are in Silchar. And so आप ये बताइए आप कब से ये आर्ट शुरू किए?
बचपन में जब क्लास 6 में था तब मेरे कजिन भैया ने मुझे आर्ट स्कूल में एडमिशन करवाया था.
अच्छा. और so what Bappy is telling us that when he was in around 11 or 12 years old, that's the time he got admitted. One of the relatives helped him admitted into art school. और so आपका आर्ट वर्क के बारे में थोड़ा सा बताइए, कैसे रहा आपका आर्ट वर्क?
अच्छा रहा सर.
अच्छा, तो ये आर्ट वर्क आपको कैसे हेल्प किया आपकी लाइफ में?
मुझे आर्ट करके बहुत खुशी मिलती है लाइफ में. जब मैं पेंटिंग करता हूँ मुझे खुद से बहुत अच्छा लगता है. जो पेंटिंग करके जो मुझे खुशी देता है. I love painting.
Very good, excellent. So we can already see the connection between the emotional well-being and the art, and it's coming right from the artist himself, that it gives him a pleasure, it gives him happiness. And again, it just shows that it can be a fantastic vehicle when it comes to tackling the difficult mental health issues. So, आपका कोई specific interest है, a specific type of art, Bappy?
इंटरेस्ट हो सर, मुझे स्केच करना बहुत पसंद है.
अच्छा.
और स्टिल लाइफ पेंटिंग बनाना. अच्छा. और पोर्ट्रेट कमीशन वर्क जो है थोड़ा वो बहुत इंटरेस्ट लगता है मुझे.
So he's interested in the sketch and other forms of art, and it just shows that he's so passionate. And soon when we start the art exhibition, we will know. You'll be absolutely mesmerized by his artwork. Thank you so much, Bappy, for coming here and being with us. We are honored to be, showcasing your artwork today.
Thank you so much, sir.
So now I'd like to welcome Shelly Sinha, again from Silchar, who has worked really hard to make this program happen. Her expertise are mainly in the social media, and she's also working very closely with Bappy. So Shelly, warm welcome to you. Very nice to have you on the board.
First of all, to thank Dr. Sarmila and Dr. Sarkhel for involving me and me to make this event a reality. It's really a very big opportunity. Also a heartfelt thanks to Sangeet Foundation and Ipson for being a part of this event. Thanks to all the viewers who are watching this event now. So basically, I'm from Assam, but I'm staying in Delhi. I'm a designer by profession. I specialize in social media and content marketing. Early this year, I handled a government project in Pan Asia, and also my own projects also. So basically, and during this lockdown, I cope up with pandemic. So I did a little project of love and laughter. I just basically do my own projects, which are like 6 social media pages, and all those websites. The website mainly contains content of film review, and the social media, I handle the content of movies and memes, motivational quotes, and sometimes I do for my own, and I'm handling a lot of projects nowadays. So this project, I'm really thankful to you both, Living Mind and Living Life Stress Free, for giving me an opportunity to work in this. Thank you so much for this. And if anyone wants to look up to my work and all work, they can contact me in LinkedIn and Upwork in the name of Arghya Sarkhel. And you can also see my work in my YouTube channel, that is in the name of Shelly Sinha. And also you can contact me in my email ID, that is sinha.shelly@gmail.com.
Right. So I'm quite interested to know, Shelly, how did you discover Bappy?
Yeah, that was interesting story actually, Bappy, finding Bappy. It is actually during the lockdown, I have been creating content. Basically, I came to Silchar to attend my brother's marriage, and somehow me and my husband got stuck in Assam. So during this time, I was creating a lot of content for local production houses, and basically mainly for our community. Our community's name is Vishnupriya Manipuri community, and just to while I was doing all those projects, I thought that why not archive uh, uh, and the contents for eminent people of our community, or and highlighting the talents. So our community is it's a small part of Assam. So I try to archive a lot of things.
Right.
So I thought of creating a group for my community in the name of Amar Porichoy, which means our identity. So this is where a member of the group shared Bappy's artwork, and there are a lot of artists in the I have discovered many artists in that group, but one particular piece of Bappy's artwork really attracted everyone. It actually turned many heads, and Dr. Sharmila, she was also in that group, Amar Porichoy, and being into mental health experts, she and along with Dr. Sarkhel, I think you both were organizing an event to promote art therapy, creative therapies, to deal with mental health, anxiety, and stress. So she proposed me that idea, that why not promote Bappy in this exhibition. And it was a golden opportunity for him, because it is his first exhibition, and that too an international exhibition.
Yes.
And it's a very proud moment for not only for India, but for our community, the Vishnupriya Manipuri community, that a young talent from Bekir Park, it's in Norsingpur.
Right.
From that area, his talent has reached worldwide, which is a very big thing, and we are really proud of him. It's a very proud moment for all of us.
Well, thank you so much. And again, it just shows that, the Facebook, we have got a lot of criticisms we have heard, but if it is used positively, and I'm sure Dr. Sinha will agree, I still remember that our conversation, when it's all started, I actually spotted one of Bappy's artworks in one of her Facebook that she liked, and I was absolutely stunned by the piece of work. And then we got into the discussion that there are quite a few famous artists all over the world, and especially in India, raw talents are everywhere, but people like Bappy who need the recognition, who need the exposure. And then again, quickly, Sharmila went on to her groups, and which included kindly Shelly's, Amar Porichoy. So it just shows that if we have got the good intention, if we do have altruism at our heart, we can make anything happen. So, and here is the life example for that. So Dr. Sinha, do you want to just shed some lights on it?
Yes, I mean, Dr. Sarkhel, I just shared it because in my Facebook, because I was so impressed with Bappy, and then you spotted it, and you actually came up with this idea, art meets mind, which is your brainchild. And I was like, I never even thought that we would even do a exhibition of this magnitude, of this scale. And word started spreading, we started planning things, and soon mental health charities got involved, interested, and whoever listens about this, art meets mind, it's a unique project. I mean, I don't know of any such projects where psychiatrists and artists come together and discuss mental health, discuss art therapy. So I'm really honored and really happy to be involved in this project. I think it's a boost for everybody. It's an encouragement for people like Bappy, who come from parts of some rural parts and where they probably don't have that exposure. And to have a platform like this, I think it's good for Bappy, artists like Bappy. And I think, thanks to Dr. Sarkhel, for taking this opportunity. I think we have Jayanta just joined in.
Yes. So shall we see the video first? We'll see the video first from Sangeet Foundation, and then we'll have Jayanta here.
Hi, I'm Jayanta, co-founder of Sangeet Foundation. Sangeet Foundation believes in happiness through music and the arts, and the power of music and the arts in creating positivity. This is to create awareness about mental health and also to create a safe space for sharing and discussing mental wellness. In the process, Sangeet Foundation has organized multiple programs, and we have come to enjoy a lot of fabulous performances, interviews, discussions in music, dance, art, photography, and movies, addressing various aspects of mental wellness. We have been fortunate to have Padma Shri Aparna Sen as our patron, and we are also delighted to welcome Pandit Vikram Ghosh in our distinguished panel of patrons. Apart from partnering with various social and charitable organizations, Sangeet Foundation is in partnership with various universities, including De Montfort University, Leicester, and South Asia Institute, SOAS of London University, and exploring options with other universities and the NHS for research projects regarding how various forms of art can address mental health. Stay happy, stay healthy, and may today's session bring happiness through the arts that you are going to witness. Thanks and God bless.
Hello, Dr. Sarkhel.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Jayanta. So, can we have a warm welcome to Jayanta Ray, a co-founder director from Sangeet Foundation, and warm welcome from all of our sides, including Dr. Sinha, Shelly, and Bappy.
Welcome.
We all
Thank you, all of you.
And it's so nice to have you on board, Jayanta. So, if you could just tell us, a bit more about your charitable organization, please.
So, interesting question. Basically, there was a few years back, my elder daughter came home from her second year in Oxford, and she announced that she's been diagnosed with adult ADHD, clinical anxiety, dyspraxia. And those were just terms to me. They were just terms, and even today they are terms. But when she came and told me, the first reaction for me was denial. I said, these things don't happen in our household, right? All Western concepts, please don't talk about it. Get on with your studies, study hard, get a good job, get married. That's what life is about.
True.
And then, but we saw that it wouldn't go away. And then we said, so what next? Where do I go? So who do I talk to? Who do I ask? What will people say? What has happened to Jayanta's daughter? I have not seen that happening with anybody else. Why? And everybody will be surprised. But then I did reach out and I got a lot of help. And my daughter through, then we realized it's a medical problem. We need to go to a medical practitioner. And we did. So it was medication, meditation. And one of the big things which really helped her was music and also counseling. And then we thought, And of course, the counseling was good, bad and good. So initial feedback was not so good, but then we got a right counselor for her, and that really helped her. Now, what we decided was, that this is a learning we have had. And I thought, it is important to take it out there and talk to people, that it does happen to real life people. It is not some other family where it happens, doesn't happen to me. And as I spoke to various people, I found that every second household has a problem. And then I realized that, that music, it was so therapeutic for my daughter. I thought, that is a learning I should be able to take out. And which is why Sangeet Foundation, to say happiness through music and the arts. And as I found out, there are performing arts as well, which really helps with mental health issues. And which is why then we started talking to various universities and say, how do we work? So De Montfort University, they do a lot of work with mental health and performing arts in India and over here. Yes. And then I started getting introduced to that. And which is why we started to talk to various people, including you, Dr. Sarkhel. And, we have had all these sessions and people have benefited such a lot. People do reach out to us right now without the fear of getting stigmatized or being judged. And I thought, wow, this is an opportunity, and it's really, really helped others. And I thought, if I can save one life or save 2 years of one person's life, I think I've done my job. And it is so much therapeutic for me. Yes. Because when I see this happening, it really, really, really helps me get the therapy to say, yes, I'm on the right path.
Yes. And I think this is a prime example. We can see how much passion Jayanta has. And it's not just awareness, but also we are together. We are combating the stigma about mental illness, something that we try not to talk about. We have a taboo. And I'm sure, Dr. Sinha, that you want to have some question for Jayanta, please.
Jayanta, I can't catch up with you really. You are such a busy man. You host so many programs, and tell us, how have you been coping during this lockdown? Any good tips for all our viewers, all our listeners? Anything that's working for you? How are you keeping your cool during the lockdown?
Fabulous. So in fact, lockdown is a problem with a lot of people. So there are 3 questions, most important questions in our lifetime right now. One is, when will this lockdown end, or when will this pandemic end? That's question number 1. Second is, can you hear me? And third is, can you see my screen? Right? So we've been dealing with this, and that has been really therapeutic for me, because sitting in the house, and I have underlying conditions like blood pressure and blood sugar. And this has been, this has been my opportunity to reach out to the rest of the world, you see. And I thought this pandemic has given me so much of opportunity to reach out to so many people, to have a better understanding of mental health and the arts, and to be able to have so many fabulous performances, get to know so many people. I've come to know Dr. Sarkhel, I've come to know you as well, you see. And that has been my biggest takeaway. And that has been really, really therapeutic for me. So I don't have time to think about, there have been so many deaths, there's so many second wave and the third wave, and in India, so many things are happening. At the end of the day, we all know that there's not much we can do about it, except for we being safe, keeping our distances, keeping, going through these particular sets of guidelines to stay safe. Apart from that, we can't do much. But using this time, this opportunity to reach out, to educate people, to get educated about the whole thing, and organize these fabulous programs. And that has been really therapeutic for me.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jayanta. And having walked with you for, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 webinars so far, if not more, I can definitely tell that Sangeet Foundation has been working tirelessly and reached out to thousands and thousands of people across the globe. So please, help these charities who are doing this fabulous work. We need artists like Bappy, where you can give a practical examples. We need, passionate people like Jayanta, and we wish we can have thousands of Jayanta all over. That'd be really nice.
Absolutely.
And Dr. Sinha, who is very, very keen in well-being of the mental health, having a very integrated approach. So thank you so much, Jayanta, once again for coming on board with us. And we'll see again very soon, virtually and hopefully physically at some point.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me here on board.
And
Thanks a
Jayanta,
lot.
please don't forget to join us if you have time at the end of the program, because we would like to hear if people would like to get in touch with you, if you have a website or any contact numbers, we would love to hear that. So I don't know if you want to share it now or you could share it at the end. It's up to you.
I mean, whichever I can. So my website is sangeetfoundation.org.
Okay.
So one single word, sangeetfoundation.org. And I'm on Facebook. There's a Sangeet Foundation group. There's a Sangeet Foundation page. Fortunately, there's only one Sangeet Foundation as of now. So, and so it's easy to, if you just do a search on hashtag Sangeet Foundation, you should be able to find all about me, the contact details. And my email address is sangeet.foundation@gmail.com. That's how it works. So thank you so much for having me.
Great, great. We'd love to have you back at the end as well.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you.
Right. So now that we have Sangeet Foundation, we are also supported by another charity called Ipson, and they're from Swindon. Julie Mattinson is the director of the organization. We'll try and see, she wouldn't be here today on live. We tried to play that video before, but we're having some technical glitches, but we'll try again and see if we can. If not, just to let you know that Ipsum Care, they're also promoting art in the context of therapy in mental health. They're primarily based at Swindon. If you want to get in touch with them, please do. They have got their website. I'm sure if you Google it, Ipsum Care, you will find their saying, sorry, we did try again. But there are a couple of videos. They do have YouTube as well. So please get in touch with them directly if you want to know more about them. On this point, if I can mention, is together with Dr. Sinha, that we are promoting Bappy's artwork through this virtual online exhibition. But we want to make a very, very loud and clear disclaimer here that neither Living Mind nor Living Life Stress-Free are involved in the sale of any painting. However, if anyone wants to commission, if anyone shows interest in buying any of Bappy's paintwork or artwork, then Bappy will be delighted to give some part of the proceeds to 50% to Sangeet Foundation and 50% to Ipsum Care. But we will handle that. But we, Dr. Sinha and myself, we are not directly involved in that. And Shelly Sinha is also project managing Bappy's work. So you can get in touch with Bappy directly, or you can also get in touch with Shelly, whichever way you want. Please stay tuned because we'll also talk about Bappy's website. You can get in touch with him through WhatsApp, email, his website. But just to make it again loud and clear, ourselves, Dr. Sinha and myself, or Malini Sarkhel from Living Mind, we are not part of any of the monetary transactions at all. Just wanted to make it very clear as it's a Facebook Live, so people should know. And again, if you want to donate to the charities, please come and talk to us and we'll help you in connection with the Bappy. And once you buy the product, then we'll make sure the proceeds go equally 50% to Sangeet Foundation, 50% to Ipsum Care. Okay? So Dr. Sinha, do you want to just add anything?
Absolutely. I agree with you, Dr. Sarkhel, that Living Mind and Living Life Stress-Free, we are not involved in any money raising at this point. However, you know, people, if they do decide to contribute, it will be equally divided between Sangeet Foundation and Ipsum in Swindon, Ipsum Care, because they are the charities that have supported Bappy, which is really good. And for people who want to get in touch with Bappy directly, he has a website. I'm going to mention it now, the website, and we will request Bappy to mention it in the end. But people who want to know his website, it is www.bappyartwork.com. That's BAPPY ARTWORK.com. That is his website. But we will be asking Bappy to mention all his contact details at the end.
All right. Thank you so much. That's so informative. And I hope that, people who are watching us on Facebook, please do contact us or Bappy, and we will facilitate that, definitely. Thank you, Dr. Sinha, So I would now hand over to Dr. Sinha, next part of the event. Dr. Sinha, over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sarkhel. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to this Art Meets Mind themed online art exhibition. Today we are focusing and we are exhibiting the work of an international artist from India called Bappy Sinha. And today, myself, Dr. Sarkhel, Malini Sarkhel from Living Mind, and along with the other charities, we are supporting artists who want to promote mental health awareness and want to promote art therapy. So it is my pleasure today to welcome Malini Sarkhel, who is the co-founder of Living Mind. So she's a national award winner in reflexology, which is an effective treatment for stress, anxiety, insomnia, chronic pain, and many other conditions. Malini is passionate about promoting mental health awareness through various forms of art, particularly dance. So Malini, warm welcome.
Thank you, Sharmila. Thank you so much.
It's finally good to see the face behind all the technical work today.
Thank you.
I'm sure you had a very busy time preparing for this exhibition.
It's been busy, but it's been really fun as well.
That's good, that's good. And I think we do have a surprise for all the viewers. There will be a special event which we have recorded it and it will be presented by Malini. So please stay tuned because this is a very special event that we are going to, we have put it during this exhibition. So can I share it, what it is about, Malini, if you don't mind?
Yes, of course. Yeah, please
Yes.
Go ahead.
So Malini is a very, very good dancer. And with our request, we requested her to come up with the dance expressing, promoting mental health. And she has come up, she and her friends have actually prepared a dance number. They've recorded it. And I have watched it, so wonderful. So please stay tuned with us. So,
Thank you.
Malini, I would also like to, at this stage, I would also like to ask you, I mean, how do you, find dancing? How does it help you in your, emotional well-being? And how does it help you?
I think dancing is very therapeutic for me. It's just the music itself. As soon as I hear any good music that really clicks, it just wakes me up basically, and I really want to dance. But unfortunately, I'm not a professional dancer, but I've always loved dancing. I remember when I was a teenager, I used to have those old radios in my bedroom, and I used to close the door and I used to dance in front of the mirror. So it just helps my emotional well-being quite a lot, and it's really satisfying.
Good. I would like to take this opportunity now next to introduce Dr. Arghya Sarkhel. I'm sure all of you have, seen Dr. Sarkhel. He is a renowned psychiatrist, consultant psychiatrist based in the UK. Dr. Sarkhel is also the co-founder of Living Mind. So, Dr. Sarkhel, it's been such a privilege to know you over the years, and you have been so helpful. And I think you're a unique psychiatrist, unique doctor, where you embrace a holistic approach to mental health care. And people who know you are so fortunate, I can say that. And I know that you have a video and which actually describes what you do and yours and Malini's work. So I'd like to play the video, and after that I'd like to ask you one or two questions, if that's okay.
Sure, and just to say that thank you so much for your very kind words. I'm not sure about the renowned, but thank you so much about, So yes, so we can watch the video now.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. So this is the video we are going to play, which is showcasing the work of Dr. Sarkhel, Malini Sarkhel and Living Mind. So we are going to play this video now.
Malini Sarkhel. My husband, Dr. Arghya Sarkhel, and I co-founded Living Mind, a private mental health consultancy. We are very grateful and glad to share that we have helped many people with mental health illnesses.
Hello, my name is Dr. Arghya Sarkhel. I'm a consultant psychiatrist and founder director of Living Mind. At Living Mind, we strongly believe in integrated approach when it comes to assessment and management of mental health disorders.
Whether they are children, adults, or elderly population. What I mean by integrated approach is, for example, some of them are treated with medications, some of them might need talking therapy, some of our service users need a combination of medicine as well as talking therapy. But outside all of that, we also believe in lifestyle, diet, complementary therapies like reflexology, acupuncture, and mindfulness. So it is very close to our heart that when it comes to mental health, we should offer our service users the range of treatments that's available and try to understand what is the meaning behind their symptoms. So our aim remains not just to control or treat their symptoms, but make sure that improvement in their mental state leads on to an improved functioning in their social life as well as in their occupational life.
We treat a range of mental disorders: depression, anxiety, OCD, ADHD, eating disorder, schizophrenia, addiction, and many more. We specialise in assessments for dementia. Our online video consultations are safe and secure.
We use an integrated approach where we combine orthodox medicine with complementary therapies, talking therapy, as well as giving advice on diet and lifestyle. I am a qualified reflexologist. I have treated many mental health patients with anxiety, depression, insomnia, and stress.
Living Mind incorporates mindfulness in most of our treatments of mental disorders. I'm very passionate about the pillars of mindfulness like acceptance, gratitude, thankfulness. We try and explore how best we can use the mindfulness exercises and try and develop a mindfulness approach in our service users' lives in general. When it comes to difficult situations, when outside stresses are not going to change very much, mindfulness gives us a fantastic platform to deal with these difficulties. Please visit our mindfulness album called Mindful Living, where there are 10 tracks. Few tracks are very specific about mood, anxiety, even pain management. One of the tracks I also focused on self-love, self-care, and self-kindness. The album is available in most of the digital music platforms. Hope you found those exercises helpful.
We specialize in RTMS, repetitive transcranial magnetic stimulation. This treatment has helped many patients recover from severe depression, anxiety, OCD, and many other mental illnesses.
Please visit our website livingmind.co.uk, where you will see the details about RTMS. And if you're interested to know more, please do not hesitate to pick up the phone. I'm more than happy to discuss and talk you through over the telephone before you make the appointment.
I've had depression on and off since I was about 13 years old. I've had various spells of treatment for it and taken various different medications for it. I'm not sure I've ever sort of been totally, I don't know, it's hard to explain really, but I've definitely struggled with it on and off for most of my adult life. It is quite like a numbing condition, like you're not really very excited about anything, you're not really very engaged with anything. This year has really been the year I sort of said to myself, I have to, acknowledge this and try and do something about it.
All right, good morning, Jen.
Morning.
Hello.
How
are you? All right?
I'm okay.
Yeah? How are you feeling in general?
I've been feeling pretty good this week.
Right.
I wanted to find an alternative to antidepressant medication because I found they came with some quite serious side effects. not for everybody, but for me, like I found that it wasn't really working for me, so I wanted to have a drug-free treatment, and that's how I came across RTMS. It stands for repetitive transcranial magnetic stimulation. So my understanding of it is that they basically put this minor pulse through your brain to stimulate your neurons, I think, to sort of make them a bit more active, maybe build stronger connections. I'm not totally sure exactly how it works, but it does seem to.
So I'm just going to explain to you today the course of the treatment. Okay. So I'm going to put your cap and I'm going to take some measurement just to make sure cap is in the right place so that I can be very precise about the treatment location. So here is the treatment coil. It's essentially a magnetic coil, and that's the stimulator. So it's going to give some magnetic pulses to the frontal cortex of your brain, because that's what is responsible for most of the depressive symptoms. The treatment would last for approximately 19 minutes. Right. And all you could hear, there's a pause, there's a pause. There will be 3000 pulses, but there will be a gap of 11 seconds between each train. Okay? And it will sound a bit like, it's not painful, it's not uncomfortable, but all you could hear just like almost like a woodpecking noise. And once Jen is ready, then I'll start the treatment.
I'm ready.
Okay, you're all right, yes?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. 1, 2, 3.
Start.
Right. You're feeling good?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. So,
It's very relaxing.
very relaxing. Good. It's not painful, is it?
No, it's not painful.
No.
I've definitely noticed there has been like quite a strong effect after each treatment. So like there has been some times where I've felt like pretty depressed going in, like I hadn't really been doing anything, not really talking to anyone a lot, not really sort of looking after myself properly. And then I've gone in, had this treatment and kind of immediately felt, I don't know, just I guess more cheerful. I also noticed that maybe it sounds a bit strange, but I could sort of appreciate music a bit more deeply after I've left a session.
You know, the reason I got interested in delivering RTMS is the fact that there's an opportunity that you may not have to take antidepressant. Yeah. And all the side effects that normally patients might experience, like weight gain, excessive sleep, poor energy, sexual dysfunction, those are absolutely not present with RTMS. Yeah. Yes, it's a commitment because 5 sessions a week. Yeah. But I do think if you think about the longer term, 5 to 6 weeks of intensive treatment, and if that helps you to recover from depression fully, I suppose, you know, in the longer term, it's cost effective, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that any treatment is going to be a total cure for everything. It's definitely been helpful, and it's definitely, yeah, it's definitely been helpful.
You know, it's obvious that you are on the right direction, you know, on the road to recovery.
Yeah. I think it definitely has been a good thing overall. Like, I'm not taking medication at the moment. And that was one of the things I wanted to do. Like, I came off medication when I started having this treatment. So, yeah, that's pretty. I suppose that speaks for itself. That it must have had quite a beneficial effect that I'm, you know, functioning.
Living Mind has clinics in London, Essex, and Birmingham, making lives meaningful.
Thank you. That was a wonderful video. Very good video.
Just the last part of the video talking about where are our clinics located in London, Harley Street, and Brentwood, Essex, and Birmingham. So you know. So yes.
So, Dr. Sarkhel, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How does art therapy play an important role in recovery from mental illness?
Yeah, so I'll probably start from Sigmund Freud. I'm sure many of us have heard him. He's one of the great psychoanalysts and one of the father figures of modern psychiatry. He himself was, a physician to begin with. So he talked about some of the defense mechanisms. So when we are stressed, when our mind is kind of attacked by different stressful situations, he talked about some of the different mechanisms mind employs. And one of the very mature defense mechanisms actually employment of art. So art in any form, whether it's a painting like Bappy does, or for example, dance that Malini talked about, or the music that we are going to hear very soon from quite a wonderful voice. So Freud talked about it many years ago, and I still think it is true. And again, from the practical experience of Sangeet Foundation, like charity, Jayanta, as you said, he found it very helpful. So I find art is almost like a vehicle to process our emotion. Sometimes we do have pent up feelings inside, and we do need to channel it out. The other aspect of the art I really like is it's a non-judgmental approach. So if I want to feel like doing some art, doesn't matter what it is, as Bappy said, it gives them a pleasure. It doesn't judge you back. And I think that's one of the fundamentals of art. It generates that passion inside you. So if I'll strongly recommend for people who haven't even been into art, any form of art, doesn't have to be painting necessarily. So you can see how art can have an immense therapeutic power when it comes to combating some of the difficulties we have with our emotions sometimes. But for me, is a passion, is a generating positive emotions, in fact, channeling even our uncomfortable emotions through art, and very much being non-judgmental. Again, I want to reiterate that point, because we want to communicate with an activity which will not judge us back. And I think that helps us to be spontaneous, to be, how we are. So that's my kind of take on how art can be helpful in mental health.
Yeah. And I think one of the practical aspects of using art as a therapy is that it is available 24/7. You don't have to book an appointment with it. At any time, middle of the night, early morning, whenever you feel creative, you can use it. And so if we have, is there anything before we introduce Bappy again? So I have a few questions for Bappy. Shall we then continue with that?
Yes, and just to say that we have been receiving few questions, so please feel free to continue. Yes. Write the questions. We will be taking those questions. Malini is keeping a close eye on the questions. We are writing it down. So we'll take as many questions as we can, as long as the time permits. So please feel free to put forward your questions in the Facebook Live. But thank you for participating, for all the viewers and listeners all over the world. Without your participation, this meeting couldn't have happened. So thank you for that.
Yes.
And over to you, Dr. Sinha.
Yes. So warm welcome again, Bappy Sinha. So Bappy, I have a few questions for you. आपके लिए कुछ सवाल है मेरे पास. So I'm going to ask you, and I'll translate to you in Hindi as well. My first question is, how did you become interested in art? And at what age did you first paint? And when did you realize this was more than a hobby? तो मैं ये सवाल पूछना चाहती हूँ आपको कि आप कितने उम्र से आपको आर्ट पे दिलचस्पी आने शुरू हुई, आप कितने उम्र से आप आर्ट पे आपको इंटरेस्ट आना शुरू हुआ, और कब आपने महसूस किया कि ये सिर्फ एक हॉबी नहीं है, हॉबी से कुछ और इम्पोर्टेंट प्लेस है आपके लाइफ पे. तो आप अगर बता सकते हैं हमें. तो
मैं जब क्लास 6 में था, मेरे कजिन बहन ने मुझे आर्ट स्कूल में एडमिशन करवाया था. तब से शुरू हुआ मेरा आर्ट का करियर. तो क्लास 10 तक 9-10 तक मैं ऐसे ही करता गया. उसके बाद क्या हुआ कि 4-5 तक थोड़ा ब्रेक दिया मैंने, क्योंकि मैं पेंटिंग में ज़्यादा फोकस दे नहीं पा रहा था, क्योंकि मैं गवर्नमेंट जॉब के लिए अप्लाई किया. तो उसके बाद क्या हुआ, मुझे रियलाइज़ हुआ फिर से मुझे स्टार्ट करना चाहिए. 4-5 साल बाद मैंने फिर से स्टार्ट किया। 1 ईयर प्रैक्टिस किया, फिर से अच्छे से प्रैक्टिस किया, फोकस के साथ प्रैक्टिस किया। तो मुझे लगा कि नहीं, मुझे अभी पेंटिंग छोड़ना नहीं चाहिए। मैं पेंटिंग आर्ट से मैं लाइफ में कुछ कर सकता हूँ, तभी से रियलाइज हुआ। और उसके बाद मैंने असम यूनिवर्सिटी में एडमिशन लिया बीबीए करने के लिए, बैचलर ऑफ फाइन आर्ट्स।
Thank you, Bappy. So I'm just going to translate what Bappy has said for all our viewers all over the world. So Bappy said he first became interested in art when he was in year 6, and it would be at the age of 9 years approximately. And he was in a primary school at that time. And he mentioned that his cousin brother, he helped him to get enrolled in an art school. And it's been almost about 3 years that Bappy has realized that art is more than a hobby for him, and that he would like to make it a career out of it, and he would like to pursue more in the field of art. So thank you, Bappy. My next question is, who is your role model? And do you have any favorite painter or artist? तो आपका रोल मॉडल कौन है, और आपका कोई फेवरेट पेंटर या आर्टिस्ट अगर है तो हमें प्लीज हमारे साथ शेयर कीजिए।
Since my childhood, one of my older brother is my role model, and I also got inspiration from my grandfather. One of my favorite painter is Bilas Nayak.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Great. So next, my question is, tell us about your experience in art so far. आर्ट में आपकी जो एक्सपीरियंस है उसके बारे में कुछ बताइए।
I love art as it gives me patience and peace of mind.
Great.
मुझे आर्ट करके बहुत अच्छा लगता है।
हाँ बताइए, कंटिन्यू।
I really love art. मुझे आर्ट करके बहुत खुशी मिलती है, बहुत सुकून मिलता है, और मैं ये सोचता हूँ आर्ट ही मेरे लिए मेरा जिंदगी है।
Wow, very great words. So what Bappy is sharing is that art is his life. That's amazing. My next question is, tell us about what support you have from your family in making art as your passion. So आपके family members आपको क्या सहायता करते हैं?
Yes, I have the support of my family and friends in my art as a passion and career as well. All of them support me and motivate me. और मेरे सब फ्रेंड मुझे बहुत मोटिवेट करते हैं और आगे बढ़ने के लिए बहुत मुझे करते हैं।
So you're very lucky, Bappy. You have the support of your family as well as friends. That's amazing. Very, very good. So I would now like to request Dr. Sarkhel to inaugurate, to open the art exhibition, officially open the art exhibition. We're really, really excited and looking forward to it.
Yes, I'm very much honored and privileged to open this virtual online exhibition. I think it's one of the rarest of its kind. Don't think I've seen many of these events online so far. So particularly if the artists are out in the other parts of the world, surely it should excite you. So here it is. So this is our exhibition part 1. So we are going to first show the first piece of art. Just bear with us. So this is our part 1. As we said, we'll have 3 parts. Part 1 will have 3 pieces of art, and part 2 will have another 3. And please stay tuned till the end, because that's where our exclusive last 3 artworks that Bappy has done purely just for this program. So here you go, the first artwork.
Wow.
Right, so that is named, as you can see, Steel of Life. And my understanding, as you can see, the dimensions are there as well. If people are interested, is 30 centimeters by 40 centimeters, acrylic on canvas. And this is actually the paintwork when I first saw, and I was just thought, wow, it's absolutely awesome, isn't it, Dr. Sinha?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, this painting took my breath away because I posted in my Facebook page saying, I mean, I don't believe this is a painting. It looks like a photograph. And I was completely blown away by this one.
Yes.
And Bappy has actually written a little description of this.
That's right. So I was just going to take from that, Bappy, if it's okay with you. So it's like it's actually depicted the common life. So the objects that common people use in India: milk, steel pot, steel glass, and steel bowl. And these three objects were of the same color, the steel color. And he did set it up on a chair with a whiteboard behind to capture the shadow. And the setup looks absolutely perfect. And in fact, this milk steel pot that belonged to one of Bappy's aunts who came to visit him. So you can see how it has come out very naturally. The source is his own home, if you like. So Bappy, do you want to say anything about this piece of art for the viewers?
ये जो पेंटिंग है, एक स्टिल लाइफ है जो हम डेली लाइफ में जो ऑब्जेक्ट यूज करते हैं उसी से ये बनाया हुआ है. तो एक दिन ऐसा हुआ कि मेरे घर में मेरे उस जान पहचान के लोग, मेरे काजिन, उन्होंने ये जो बर्तन है वो लेके आए थे. तो मैं कुछ दिनों से नोटिस कर रहा था इससे कुछ पेंटिंग बनाने के लिए. तो मैंने उस दिन ये बर्तन जो है ले लिया. तो मैंने उसके बाद क्या किया, एक टेबल में जाके रखा. तो मैं सोच रहा था एक ऑब्जेक्ट से तो मतलब अच्छा नहीं होगा, तो मैंने घर से और 2 बर्तन ले लिया. तो उसके बाद मैंने इसको और भी इंटरेस्टिंग बनाने के लिए बैकग्राउंड में एक मार्बल रख दिया. तो उसके बाद इसका जो ऑब्जेक्ट है, ऑब्जेक्ट का बैकग्राउंड में जो मुझे इंटरेस्टिंग लगा. सो जो पूरा जो सेटअप है मैंने खुद से सेटअप करके उसका पेंटिंग बनाया हुआ है.
So yeah, so what Bappy just mentioned, what I've just mentioned before. So initially he had one of these utensils, and then he made sure that if he can gather a bit more, it will complete his artwork, and that's what he did. Bappy, agar aap kuch, do you want to say anything about acrylic on canvas? Is that your specialty? Agar acrylic on canvas, ये आपका specialty है क्या?
हाँ, मुझे एक्रेलिक कैनवास करने में बहुत अच्छा लगता है. और सिर्फ not only canvas, not only acrylic, live sketches or commission work.
Right. And our color, I think he used black, brown, white, and green. And so if anyone is interested, as we said, that please use it's some of there was a question, Bappy, for you, if I can ask. सवाल हो रहा है कि ये क्या पेंसिल पेंटिंग है? ये क्या पेंसिल से बना हुआ है?
नहीं, ये पूरा वो जो पेंटिंग है ये एक्रेलिक कलर मीडियम से बनाया हुआ है. हाँ.
So for one of the viewers, his name is Santosh Kumar Sinha, asking, is it just wow? Is it pencil painting? So we heard the answer from the artist himself. That is not a pencil painting, is actually acrylic on canvas. So thank you for engaging with us. So we'll move on to the next painting.
Before we move on, Arghya,
yes,
there is one viewer asking how old is Bappy?
Oh, Bappy, how old are you? कितने साल के आप?
23.
23. So 23 साल, 23 years old. So young, so talented. So yes, no, thank you, Dr. Sinha. So shall we move on to the next painting? So just wait for, yes. So here you go. The second one, My Way.
Beautiful.
Absolutely speechless, isn't it? it's slightly different. It's a watercolor on canvas. Again, the dimensions are clear, 30 centimeter by 21 centimeter. So before I say anything, Bappy, do you want to say anything? आप कुछ कहना चाहते हैं इस पेंटिंग के बारे में?
हाँ, ये जो पेंटिंग है, एक दिन ये मेरा क्लास वर्क था, वाटर कलर से बनाया हुआ है क्लास वर्क का। तो एक दिन मैं गली पे रूम के बाहर निकला था गली पे, तो मुझे दिखाई दिया कि जो सनलाइट है, मैं रोड के बीच में खड़ा था, तो जो सनलाइट था वो मुझे इंटरेस्टिंग लगा, और मैं रोड के बीच में खड़ा था, और जो दोनों साइड के जो पर्सपेक्टिव है वो मुझे इंटरेस्टिंग लगा, और सनलाइट और पर्सपेक्टिव मुझे इंटरेस्टिंग है, इसलिए मैं इसका वहाँ पे धूप में तो खड़े होकर नहीं बनाया, वैसे मोबाइल से स्नैप लिया, उसके बाद मैं रूम पे जाके ये पेंटिंग बनाई।
Wow, brilliant. So what Bappy just told us, that it was actually one of his outdoor assignments when he was studying in his art college. So he came and he took the photo first with his mobile, and then he started doing the painting. And the shadow of the sunlight falling in a small corner made him think that how we perceive things which are very near and far. And again, you can see that perception is one of the key things in emotional well-being. Sometimes is very important how we perceive. Time and time again, we're trying to relate that art and mental health, because that's our theme. So thank you so much, Bappy, for explaining that. And again, viewers, you have any questions, please feel free to ask. We can ask Bappy here or even later on. But thank you so much, Bappy. So shall we move on to the next one? Wow, wow. Believe.
Amazing, amazing.
Yes. So, Bappy, over to you. ये आर्ट वर्क के बारे में जरा बताइए।
ये जो पेंटिंग है, ये एक्रेलिक मीडियम से बनाया हुआ है, ऑयल पेपर पे। तो मैं एक दिन गूगल पे सर्च कर रहा था, फोटोग्राफी सर्च कर रहा था, तो मुझे ये वाला फोटो दिखाई दिया। इसका जो गर्ल, जो वुमेन है, उसका फेस मुझे इंटरेस्टिंग लगा, और फेस का जो एक्सप्रेशन है वो मुझे इंटरेस्टिंग लगा, और इस वुमेन का आइज और बर्ड का जो आइज है वो मुझे इंटरेस्टिंग लगा, और ये जो पूरा फोटो है इसमें पूरा डिटेलिंग ज़्यादा है, सो मैंने इसलिए बनाया।
Fantastic. I mean, so what Bappy says that he found this picture while Googling, and he found this on the Google search engine. He really liked the woman's face and the detail, and you can see how detailed work, particularly I can see, obviously me being a non-artist, but I could still, admire. I could see the eyes, and it sounds to me, it looks to me as this lady is in a deep, pensive mood. Dr. Sinha, do you want to shed some lights?
I mean, this painting is so attractive. The thing that this painting, actually, this girl, she represents a universal face. I don't think you can pin her down to any country or anything. I mean, it looks more like a universal face. And the way that she's looking, and Bappy has actually brought this picture to life. I mean, the way she's looking at us, full of questions. And in mental illness, in mental health, sometimes, people don't need to tell how they're feeling. Their eyes can tell us how they're feeling. And this is exactly that. As psychiatrists, we have to look for this non-verbal communication sometimes. And what Bappy has done is so beautifully brought out some of the emotions that this girl could be feeling, experiencing. You could interpret it in so many ways. Is this girl happy? Is she feeling sad? Is she angry? Is she... there is a mysterious, something is mysterious about this girl. And Bappy has actually brought this to life. And the expression, I think, is very interesting. And I like the color of the hair, especially. And he has done the hair so beautifully. I mean, it's amazing, amazing.
Right. And I like the caption, really, the belief. And again, when you think about some of the traditional cognitive behavior therapy, one of the key things we work on in mental health is our belief system. And you can see that how the belief can be brought out through this piece of artwork. So it makes me think that although we talk about CBT time and time again, but why can't we marry together the CBT with the artwork? We can think about these beliefs. It could come with the expression from someone's face, and not just the human being, but also in this artwork, you can see an animal as well. So it's a different, it's a fantastic combination.
Yeah.
So in fact, we have got one of the questions, and I'll take it on now because we've got some time before the next event, next performance. So it says that Santosh Kumar Sinha saying, what does the word believe mean in the painting? So Bappy, before I say anything, or Dr. Sinha, आप कुछ बता सकते हैं इस पेंटिंग के बारे में? इसको जो बिलीव कैप्शन रखा है आप, इसके बारे में आप कुछ बता सकते हैं?
Everything will be fine.
I see.
I see.
So,
okay.
Okay, so if we have the belief, you can make it happen. So, and you can see a bit of a stern face, the determination in that face, which has really come out nice and clear. And you can see the skin folds, isn't it, Dr. Sinha?
Yes, absolutely. Can I mention here something? I mean,
Yeah.
I work in an inpatient setting, and there is a pet dog that comes as therapy. There is a pet therapy. So they bring, so animals are actually quite soothing in mental illnesses. And the way that this girl is, she's kept this swan. I don't know if it's a swan or a, yeah. So she's kept it in front of her. And if you see, the swan is actually holding a lock of her hair. I've just noticed that the swan is actually picking her. So there is a very good bonding between her and her pet. And sometimes in mental illness, having a good bonding with your pet or an animal, it is really healing. It can provide a healing, effect to the person. So beautiful work, Bappy. I think you have expressed so many things through this painting.
Yes. And
it is one of your amazing work.
And I think that the other thing comes to my mind, and again, Malini is also sharing with me as well. It seems like she believes that is a swan that's not going to hurt her. In fact, it gives her that bonding, the company. I work in a dementia unit in London, and we do have some pet dogs coming regularly. And I've seen the effect that the animal can bring to someone's mental health. It's such a soothing effect. So, and again, it has been brought out so nicely. So perhaps if it is okay, we can just go through it again slightly more quickly, those 3 paintings for the viewers. Please, you can always go to Bappy's website and you can see, but we'll just run through it again. So this is a part 1 exhibition. The first one is Still of Life. We talked about acrylic on canvas, 30 centimeter by centimeter. The next one is My Way. There's a watercolor on canvas, that 30 centimeter by 21 centimeter. And the third one is that, as we just talked about in a bit more detail, captioned as Believe. So, my urge to the therapists as well, please think about considering at least marrying the artwork with cognitive behavior therapy. Because art can truly attend. So, and I can see our wonderful singer is already on the waiting room, Teerna Mukhopadhyay. So thank you, Bappy. We'll come back again to your artwork.
Thank you so much, sir.
And so maybe if we could see or listen to this wonderful performance, and I'm not going to give anything away. Let's just watch, and then I'm going to talk to you, Teerna, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's okay.
And
welcome, Teerna. Welcome.
of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, bright blessed days, dark sacred nights, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll never know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. Beautiful.
Nightingale.
Thank you.
Truly a nightingale. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
welcome from all of us, myself and Dr. Sinha, Shelly and Bappy. So, thank you so much, Teerna, for this.
Thank you for having me.
And yes, just we are beyond words, really.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, yes, so maybe to start with, just intrigued really, why did you choose this song?
So the song itself is kind of a well-known song that kind of everyone knows and everyone's heard of, and I think it's just such an amazing song because, I mean, within the lyrics itself, it kind of not only does it kind of promote sort of hope and faith, especially, and I think it's very prevalent to what's going on right now. Everything is so. Right now we are in such a strange time, and kind of no one saw this coming, and sort of this song kind of promotes sort of like hope and faith that we all kind of need right now, because of everything that's been going on. And I think from what I realized when I was kind of learning the song, I kind of realized that there was also a hint of gratitude in the song as well. Certainly, like sort of the imagery of like nature, the fact that we're so grateful to be alive in this world, with all talking about the simplest of things, such as like the trees and the flowers, and like the simpler things that actually matter more in life than so much. And I think the songs taught me one thing, that like that's the main thing that matters in life. And I think it kind of does promote gratitude, that actually we are living in a wonderful world, even if right now it may not seem like it. We are actually grateful to be alive, really. And I think it's just important.
Yes, can't agree with you anymore, honestly, because and just as we talked about, Teerna, before you're singing, Dr. Sinha and I were mentioning about the mindfulness and gratitude, thankfulness. These are the very strong pillars of mindfulness.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know, practicing that through the song. But I was also thinking, you know, Louis Armstrong, you know, whose original song it was, you know, from I think it's from New Orleans originally. And he was one of the greatest African-American artists who not only came to prominence in 1920s through his singing, but he was a very good trumpet player. He's actually a very good actor as well. So again, you could see that art in different forms, you know, and you know, he struggled with his personal life. And I'm pretty sure because he has these different channels of his artwork, that really came through the crisis in his life. You know, it wasn't very easy life for him to begin with. But you know, he made into a big name those days in 1920s as a Black African American. You know, shining in America is not an easy job.
I think as well as sort of like making his own music to inspire himself, I think for so many people, Louis Armstrong's music kind of gives us a channel sort of for us to connect. And I mean, I think especially with his music, I think not even just in the music, in like the tune, the melody and stuff like that, I think people can really like connect and perhaps even relate to all of the songs that he's singing. So I think Louis Armstrong in that sense as well has been hugely influential, especially in those times.
That's right. And I think he created a genre on himself, really. It's almost like a separate genre.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. You can't really count it as jazz. You have to count it as a separate genre. Yeah, no, definitely.
So coming to slightly, you know, a different topic away from this specific song, just while preparing this for the event and going through this, tell us, you know, what are the emotional journeys that, you know, you've been through? What sort of emotions it generated in you?
Wow, that's quite an interesting question, actually. I think learning this song, I kind of knew that this would probably be the right song for this event, because, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, it does kind of promote hope and kind of promote optimism. And I think especially in these very strange times when no one really has any idea of what's going on in the world, I think it's very important to be grateful and to be kind of, you know, just look at the world we're living in, because I think there's so many things that, like, what I've realized during this lockdown is that, like, before lockdown, life just sped up so much, you know, that we have concerns about work, we have concerns about life and social life and stuff like that. And I think this song's kind of showing us to just take a step back and actually look at what we're actually living in. And I think that is so important. And I think in music, in terms of sort of music in general and how that kind of impacts like mental health, I think it really gives a way for people to connect with the song, to kind of relate to it as well. And I think it, in a way, it's not only is it kind of relaxing and, you know, you can kind of like sort of calm down from it and stuff, but I think people can find a great way to relate to the songs as well. And I think in a sense, like, it brings people together, you know. I think for me especially, like, doing music during lockdown has really helped, because it kind of shows that even though you're kind of apart with distance, that it shows that you are actually together. And I think in a sense that also brings about more positivity and optimism. So I think it's definitely a good channel for that sort of thing.
And, you know, you have given us such a good tips for the viewers and listeners as well, that, you know, music is a very good vehicle, as you very eloquently described. And, you know, do you want to ask anything to our wonderful singer, artist, perhaps?
Yes, Teerna, I mean, it was an amazing song.
Thank
very
you.
beautifully sung. I really liked your explanation about how the lockdown has actually kind of helped us to reflect on our fast pace of life. And there are some advantages to this pandemic as well.
Yeah.
It's good to keep a positive view on things, I think. Just tell us, how does music help you in maintaining your emotional well-being? I'd like to know that.
That's a very good question. That is a really good question. I think for me in particular, I think, I mean, I've kind of like tried to remain positive, but I've had my down days. I mean, I think everyone has their down days, but I think for me, music kind of, I think in a sense, not only just helps us kind of relax and sort of rejuvenate, but also I think it, like, you can kind of connect with music on a level which you can't with anything else, because particularly with, it's not really just about kind of like the melody and the tune, but like within the lyrics itself, I think people can, it really speaks to them, and I feel like people can relate more. And through doing that, I think people realize that they're not alone in this journey, because tough times, like, I think life is tough, you know, people go through so many difficulties, but I think music kind of makes us feel less alone, even if we are far apart. We, like, lyrics kind of give us kind of this channel to connect and relate, and therefore see that we're not alone in this situation, that we're all in this together, basically. And I think that's probably my take on it, really. So that's what I would say.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, and it's good, Teerna, and just for the viewers to know that this program will be available in YouTube as well. And I just want to make it a disclaimer that this is not a monetizing event at all. This is purely for mental health purpose, team bonding purpose, is for the social benefits from the psychological point of view. So just want to make it very clear, originally from Louis Armstrong, as Teerna said, please go and visit our YouTube. It will be ready within few days in our YouTube channel, both in Living Life Stress Free as well as in the Living Mind YouTube channels. So thank you once again, Teerna, for coming and presenting with such a wonderful and nightingale's voice, as I always say.
Thank you. Honestly, I can't thank you enough for giving me this opportunity, because I think mental health is something that is till now very stigmatized, which is very sad. I mean, now it's more talked about, but I think mental health was kind of very stigmatized, and I think it's really great that you've got this global platform to kind of share experiences and provide such an amazing outlet. So I'm honored to be here. So thank you very much.
Teerna, it's our pleasure. We would like to welcome you back at the end of the program when we will be having our vote of thanks. So please do join in. And if our viewers, they have any questions for you at the end as well, we will come back to you for that.
Okay. Thank you. Yep, I'll definitely be sure to join in then.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Teerna.
Thank you.
So is it over to me now for the second round?
It's over to Dr. Sinha now. So she'll take us to the part 2 of the exhibition. So over to you, Dr. Sinha.
Thank you. Thanks, Dr. Sarkhel. And viewers, welcome, because we are doing this Art Meets Mind themed online exhibition. And our focus of our exhibition is artwork by international artist Bappy Sinha from India. So Bappy, if we are all ready, we'll start our second round. And we'll start the similar slideshow. So painting number 4, 5, and 6. So we will be showing 3 paintings now. So we can start them any minute now. They will be coming up. So Malini, can you tell us, show us the next painting? Yeah, that's it, right. It's titled Necessity. It's a beautiful, beautiful painting. It's an acrylic still life painting on mound board. 34 centimeters by 24 centimeters. This painting is by Bappy Sinha. I mean, this painting got my attention first before Steal of Life, and I did share this painting. And Bappy Sinha, please tell us a bit more about this painting, and then I will also tell the viewers a bit more about it. But I would like to hear, आपसे कुछ सुनना चाहते हैं इस पेंटिंग के बारे में.
ये जो पेंटिंग है, ये एक स्टिल लाइफ पेंटिंग है, बार्नबोर्ड में एक्रेलिक कलर मीडियम से बनाया हुआ है. सो ये मैं एक दिन गूगल पे जाके सर्च किया था स्टिल लाइफ का फोटोग्राफी हुआ से ये जो फोटो मिला मुझे, फोटोग्राफी मिला, लेकिन पेंटिंग नहीं, किसी की कॉपी नहीं किया, ये ओरिजिनल फोटोग्राफी से किया हुआ है. सो यहाँ पे जो बैकग्राउंड है, इस पेंटिंग का जो बैकग्राउंड है और जो फूल जो है और जो वाइन का जो ग्लास है मुझे इंटरेस्टिंग लगा. और बैकग्राउंड और डार्क और लाइट का जो कॉम्बिनेशन जो है वो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा.
Okay. Thank you. So the inspiration behind this painting is simplicity with elegance. And Bappy was mentioning that he found this still life painting. It's actually the form of a photograph when he was surfing the internet. And the simplicity of the setup inspired him to do this painting. And Bappy is into more about experimenting with still life more than indoor art. So simplicity, neat and clean setup attracted him to do the painting. And what he did in this painting was he focused more on the shadow and light while doing this one. And the colors he used were yellow, black, red, green, blue, and brown. And what struck me about this painting, the thing is, the theme is called necessity. And, a lot of people will agree that, food is our basic necessity sometimes, food and drink. So, and the velvet piece of cloth that's wrapped around it, I mean, it brings a different elegance to it. So it's amazing painting. Do you want to say why you named it Necessity, Bappy? What was going on in your mind? Why did you call it Necessity? आपने इसका नाम Necessity क्यों दिया?
Because it's about life.
We'll come back to that in a minute. Let's move on to the next painting.
Yep. Sorry.
Great. Thank you. So the next painting is titled Lovebirds. I mean, this was another great painting of Bappy's, which really, blew my mind away. It's the simplicity and the color combinations that he has used. It's watercolor on cold pressed paper. The dimensions are 30 centimeters by 21 centimeters. So Bappy, tell us about this painting. And the inspiration is nature in love. So इसके बारे में कुछ बताइए, Bappy.
ये जो पेंटिंग है, ये वाटर कलर से हुआ है कोल्ड प्रेस पेपर पे. So इस पेंटिंग में जो बहुत प्यारा लगा मुझे. और हम लोग जो फोटोग्राफी करते हैं तो DSLR से जब फोटोग्राफी करते हैं, जो सामने वाला जो ऑब्जेक्ट होता है, जो भी चीज होता है, उसके बाद जो बैकग्राउंड जो है वो ब्लर हो जाता है. सो इस फोटो पे ऐसे ही है, जो बैकग्राउंड जो है और सामने जो दो पार्ट्स है वो उस पे फोकस दिया जब किया था तो वो क्लियर है. सो पार्ट्स है वो मुझे बहुत प्यारा लगा. तो इसलिए मैंने ये बना.
Thank you, Bappy. So the theme, the inspiration is nature in love. So it's a nature photograph where these two lovebirds inspired Bappy a lot. It shows love in a simple way. And Bappy said that he loves nature and he got inspired from these two birds. He tried to focus more on the birds and blurred the background to give it a more realistic look, like a photograph. The colors used were green, yellow, brown, black, and red. I mean, we are having lots and lots of comments, Bappy, from the viewers on Facebook. So one of the questions, they're saying the lovebird painting look exactly like a real picture, Bappy. Kaushiki Chaudhary has mentioned this. So it's a very good comment. And
there was one more question. Sorry, Dr. Sinha, to interrupt.
Yes.
It's from Brahma S. That is
Yeah.
champagne or white wine, and must be champagne since there's a satin cloth with it. Must be celebration. Perhaps Bappy can give us some light on.
So yeah. So Bappy, can you say आपको पता है कि ये champagne है कि इसमें champagne का अगला bottle है? मतलब do you know इसमें क्या है?
Champagne.
Champagne hai. Well, okay. So that means satin goes with champagne then. Bappy, there is another question from another viewer who's messaging me via WhatsApp. So she's asking me that do you always paint from photographs, or do you also paint from your own imagination or your own thoughts? तो आप मतलब do you paint कोई किसी nature या फिर एक तस्वीर से आप पेंट करते हैं, और यार sometimes you paint अपने imagination से भी आप कभी-कभी पेंट करते हैं?
Imagination से मतलब मैं जो स्टिल लाइफ जो बनाता हूँ कभी-कभार, मतलब अभी तो पहले फोटोग्राफी से बनाता, अभी तो खुद एरेज करके जो ऑब्जेक्ट होता है वो खुद एरेज करके सेटअप करके उस पेंटिंग बनाता हूँ.
Okay, great. And okay, coming back to lovebirds, there is another comment that the leaf color is amazing. The color of the leaves is amazing. And somebody commented it's a 10 megapixel painting.
Yes.
10 megapixel painting. That means it's very clear. Very clear.
So that analog can overtake the digital at times, provided the right art piece is there.
Yes. So, shall we move on to the next painting? Okay. So this painting, it's a beautiful painting, and the theme is mother. So Bappy, can you tell us a bit more about this painting? इस painting के बारे में आप कुछ बताइए हमें.
ये पेंटिंग मेरा क्लास असाइनमेंट था. ये मेरा क्लास असाइनमेंट था, तो क्लास में मेरा जो प्रोफेसर है, जो सर है, उसने बोला था एक इंडियन आर्टिस्ट का जो पेंटिंग है वो कॉपी करने के लिए बोला था. तो मैंने सर्च किया गूगल में, और जो ये वाला फोटो मैंने जब सर्च किया, ये वाला बहुत सारा फोटो आया, और ये वाला फोटो मुझे बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग लगा. राजा रवि वर्मा, इंडियन आर्टिस्ट, वो इंडियन आर्टिस्ट है, उसका नाम से सर्च किया राजा रवि वर्मा. जो राजा रवि वर्मा का जो पेंटिंग है, फेमस जो पेंटिंग है, उसमें से ये वाला जो पेंटिंग है मुझे इंटरेस्टिंग लगा, क्योंकि यहाँ पे लिटिल कृष्ण और जसोदा मैया दोनों है. मुझे इंटरेस्टिंग लगा, इसलिए मैंने ये पेंटिंग बना लिया.
Thank you. I mean, so what Bappy is saying, he's acknowledged that this is actually the original work of Indian painter Raja Ravi Verma artworks. So Bappy has tried to take an inspiration from him. And it took him almost a month to complete this assignment. It was a class assignment. And he chose this particular painting because it represented the eternal love of Lord Krishna and his mother, Mother Yashoda. And so this actually is mother, the bond, the loving, eternal bond between mother and the child. So the colors used are green, white, yellow, blue, red, and black. So I'm just checking if there's any questions at this stage.
Yes.
These are very beautiful paintings. Arghya, if you had anything to...
I was just thinking from mental health point of view, apart from just, of course, I really admire Bappy for your fantastic, what a talent you have. And from mental health point of view, it just shows that, look, we have got a loving and caring animal. The cow is there. And the mother, she is obviously, she's there with her child, and and again, the child is actually holding, holding something. Is like it's a cup. So there's a lot of compassion you could see from the face. There's a bonding, as we said, and in fact, when you talk about mother, you could think about mother as what we mean by mother and father, but also it really symbolizes that it's a combination of authority, protection, security, and these are so vital when the child is growing up. So it has got a huge effect, and these sorts of artwork can be used in therapy because it portrays so much apart from the religious side of it. I think simply, for example, the love. Now, if you look into the psychology, love is a secondary emotion, is a combination of joy and happiness. And you could see the joy and happiness is almost being glorified, if you like, from this picture. Not from the face, but even just the way the cow is standing, So I suppose, again, my request for, in fact, while I'm talking about it, I'm just looking into another question. Again, I'll come back to that in a sec before I lose my thread of thinking that these are the themes that can be used successfully in therapeutic work. And it can easily be combined with cognitive behavior therapy, or particularly in the psychoanalytic approach that I was just trying to explain. So here is another very interesting point by Kaushiki Chaudhary, that there are two mothers, Krishna's mother and the cow, because cow is also in Hindu religion is considered quite holy, is almost like a motherly figure. So you can see that mother can be depicted in different forms. So I hope that I was able to shed some light about the emotional aspects and how it can be used constructively in the therapeutic side. There's one more is as well, probably the child is holding a chalice for drinking the fresh milk.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm sure, Kaushiki, you are right. Another comment, I suppose, from Brahma S. Bappy must start registering his own signature painting of his own, something through his imagination. He's just 23 and should start looking to diversity. Well, तो बापी ये बोल रहे हैं जे आप इतने कम उम्र में इतना कुछ अचीव किया, so much of talent, तो you should start copywriting आपका अपना own तरीके से ये जो आप बना हुआ है, ये people are just admiring it. So yes, so I think all these paintings can be used quite successfully in a lot of therapeutic work, I suppose. And so yeah, thank you once again, Bappy.
Yes, so please keep the comments coming because we will be asking Bappy your questions. So viewers, please keep them coming. I have, thanks a lot, Malini, for the paintings, sharing the paintings. Let us ask Bappy some more questions. I have a few more questions. So what challenges do you have to face as an artist? As an artist, Bappy, आपको क्या-क्या मुसीबतें का सामना करना पड़ रहा है या फिर challenges का सामना करना पड़ता है?
वैसे तो आर्टिस्ट के लाइफ में बहुत सारे चैलेंज होता है, बट मैं अपने पर्सनल जो चैलेंज है मैं वो बताना चाहूँगा. आई एम नॉट बिलोंग टू रिच फैमिली, सो हमारा जो आर्ट का जो मटेरियल होता है वो थोड़ा एक्सपेंसिव होता है. सो मुझे थोड़ा जो मटेरियल जो है वो एक्सपेंसिव होता है, इसलिए ये अपने लिए अपने मतलब खुद के हिसाब से मैं वो ये चैलेंजिंग मानता हूँ.
आप हिंदी में बात कर सकते हो बापी, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, हिंदी में आप बात कर सकते हो, we can translate.
Yeah.
और बंगाली, जो भी आपको.
Bengali also you can tell.
आप जैसे comfortable हो.
So Bappy is telling that he is actually not financially independent yet, and he's depending on his parents financially. I think the main challenge is financial challenge, as he's from humble background. And Bappy, as far as I know, you are doing art degree in visual arts from Assam University, isn't it? So is that right? आप कुछ बता सकते हैं आपके आर्ट के बारे में, आपके कोर्स के बारे में? और आपका फ्यूचर प्लान और ड्रीम्स क्या है? What is your future plan and dreams?
फ्यूचर में मैं अपने आर्ट से कुछ बनना चाहता हूँ. फ्यूचर में अपने आर्ट के हिसाब से आगे बढ़ना चाहता हूँ और आगे बढ़ना चाहता हूँ, खुद को इम्प्रूव करना चाहता हूँ और भी जो मुझे लोग मुझे प्यार करें, मेरे आर्ट को पसंद करें.
Okay, so Bappy is saying that he wants to go a long way and explore more in art, and he wants to become a good artist one day. I mean, Bappy is very humble. I think you are already a good artist, great artist, but it's your humility that you think that you want to even do better, and which is very good. I think that's a very good approach as an artist. So, what word of advice do you have for aspiring artists? So, जो आर्टिस्ट है, जो यंग आर्टिस्ट है, जो आर्टिस्ट बनना चाहते हैं, उनके लिए आपका क्या संदेश है, क्या आप एडवाइस देना चाहेंगे?
मैं यही बोलना चाहूँगा जो यंग आर्टिस्ट जो है, जो आर्ट करते हैं, अपने पैशन के ऊपर ज़्यादातर ध्यान देना चाहिए, खुद के ऊपर भरोसा रखना चाहिए कि मैं ये कर सकता हूँ. अगर खुद के ऊपर भरोसा नहीं होने से कभी हम सक्सेसफुल नहीं होते, इसलिए खुद के ऊपर ज़्यादातर भरोसा रखना चाहिए और आपने जो वर्क है, आपने जो आर्ट है, उससे प्यार करना चाहिए.
Thank you. Bappy what is Bappy telling is that for all young aspiring artists that you should have belief in yourself, confidence in your own work and your art. So if you love art and you're passionate about art, then just follow your heart and do whatever you can to follow your passion and your dreams. This is Bappy's message. So Bappy, how can people get in touch with you? आपसे लोग कैसे संपर्क कर सकते हैं?
मेरा वेबसाइट है www.bappyartwork.com और मेरा फेसबुक अकाउंट है बापी सिन्हा और इंस्टाग्राम बापी सिन्हा और यूट्यूब चैनल है बापी आर्टवर्क.
एंड आपका ईमेल आईडी?
www.bappyartwork.com.
And I think your email is bappysinha205@gmail.com. So Bappy, there is a question that has come from one of our viewers. He's saying you should be able to adopt digital techniques as well. Have you thought about digital technique, using digital technique in artwork?
हाँ, क्यों नहीं, डिजिटल आर्टवर्क बहुत पसंद भी है मुझे, मैं करना चाहता हूँ डिजिटल आर्टवर्क.
Okay, great. So
yes, so sorry, Dr. Sinha, just while I was listening to your fantastic conversation, one thing again to reiterate, that language should not be a barrier.
Yes.
Where we come from, it should not be a barrier. Doesn't matter we are rich or poor, you are rich in your skills. So that's first point. And the second one, really, as we already know that he's struggling. So I think if anyone is interested in any of his artwork, please let Bappy know, because that little help will go a long way towards his success in his career. So we have got obviously still the part 3 is remaining, that is coming at the very end, that is exclusive, so please stay tuned. But yes, it's wonderful to hear Bappy आप इतने talented हो. It's an honor really to showcase your talent.
Thank you so much, sir.
So its next program is over to you, Dr. Sarkhel. I think it's the last 3 paintings of Bappy.
Okay, so here, as we are waiting eagerly, so this is the part 3 of very, very special. The reason we say special, because Bappy has produced these 3 pieces of art just for this exhibition. So it may not be all available on the website yet, but we will go through these 3 paintings and then we'll talk to Bappy about the paintings. So here you go is the first one. Titled as Manipuri Dance, acrylic on canvas, 35 by 45 centimeters. So, Bappy, अगर आप इस आर्टवर्क के बारे में आप जरा बताइए.
ये जो पेंटिंग है, ये मणिपुरी का ट्रेडिशनल पेंटिंग है. यहाँ पे मणिपुरी का जो कॉस्ट्यूम है, राधा और कृष्ण, ये मणिपुर के कॉस्ट्यूम लगा के नृत्य कर रहे हैं, रासलीला.
Yes. So what Bappy is saying, it's actually a Vishnupriya Manipuri is an indigenous community from the northeast of India, and Ras Leela is a worldwide renowned dance form. And in fact, Bappy, ये commission project है ना आपका?
हाँ सर.
हाँ. So you can see a good example of the commission project done for one of his clients, and it really combines the dance, the attire, and the culture. So Bappy, मैं क्या explain कर रहा हूँ, ये जो culture है, इसका जो ये जो clothes है, clothings है, और ये जो dance का जो movements है, ये आपने अच्छे से आप combine किया है इस art में, हाँ?
Sir.
So there was so इसमें जो color आप use किए हैं, red, black, white, green, yellow, brown and blue, हाँ?
Yes sir.
तो ये जो आप बना रहे थे, तो कितने टाइम लगे हैं इस बनाने में, ये इस आर्ट वर्क?
ये 25 days something.
Wow. And it's such a detailed work. ये जो clothing में वो जो clothing का foldings है, ये जो it's absolutely beautiful. So and again the embroidery. So
Dr. Sarkhel, if we just focus the camera on Bappy, he's brought the painting. He can show us as well.
Yes.
So I just thought that if Bappy can.
Yes, why not?
Painting.
Why not? Absolutely.
So Bappy, if you hold the painting and if you just tell a little bit more, then you're on speaker view, so you have to talk really for people to see your painting. So just say something. कुछ भी बोलिए इस पेंटिंग के बारे में.
ये जो पेंटिंग है हमारे विष्णुप्रिय मणिपुरी कल्चर का पेंटिंग है. यहाँ पे जो होल जो ड्रेस है, ये जो कॉस्ट्यूम है वो मणिपुरी का कॉस्ट्यूम, मणिपुरी का ट्रेडिशनल का कॉस्ट्यूम है, विष्णुप्रिय मणिपुरी का कॉस्ट्यूम है. और ये जो कॉस्ट्यूम लगा के राधा और कृष्ण रासलीला पे नृत्य कर रहे हैं.
Thank you. Amazing. बहुत अच्छी बात है.
And again, if anyone is interested, obviously this is a commissioned work, but if any other paint work, please feel free to contact Bappy directly. There was a question from Shamir Sinha. I'll just take it now.
Yeah.
Actually and it says, Dr. Sharmila, I just want to know from Bappy that my daughter has done fine arts on 10th standard. What could be the advice for her to go further with the learning on arts and painting? So Bappy, ये आपके लिए एक question है. So इसकी जो बेटी है वो 10th standard में है. तो ये arts के बारे में ये कुछ ज़्यादा ही सीखना चाहता है और career बढ़ाना चाहते हैं. तो आपके कोई advice है specific? कैसे अच्छे से ये किया जाए?
Yes sir.
वो 10th standard में है. तो वो फाइन आर्ट्स में कुछ काम किए हैं, तो उसको करियर बनाना चाहते हैं. तो आपका कोई एडवाइस है?
वो आपने ज्यादातर प्रैक्टिस करना चाहिए हमेशा. हमेशा अपने काम के ऊपर फोकस करना चाहिए. हमेशा अपने काम से मतलब हर रोज थोड़ा करके प्रैक्टिस करना चाहिए. अगर प्रैक्टिस नहीं करने से तो नहीं होगा, इसलिए हमेशा प्रैक्टिस रखना चाहिए.
और वो जो अभी तो 10th स्टैंडर्ड में है, तो इसके बाद क्या आर्ट कॉलेज और कहाँ को जाना चाहिए? कोई एडवाइस है? अभी तो 10th स्टैंडर्ड में है.
हाँ, जब एचएस खत्म होगा, एचएस खत्म होने के बाद आर्ट कॉलेज में यूनिवर्सिटी में एडमिशन ले सकते हैं.
अच्छा. तो
क्या है? क्या what is the name of that degree का नाम क्या है? Visual arts.
Visual arts.
So Shamir Sinha, I hope you got your answer directly from the artist, and that more practice is needed to sharpen the skills. And secondly, after higher secondary or what is equivalent to A levels in this country, is going to the university for specific visual arts course. So that's an advice from Bappy. So thank you so much, Bappy. So maybe if we can move on to painting the second one.
Painting number 8.
Right. Wow.
Wow, beautiful.
Absolutely stunning. Eternal bond. Mother and child, acrylic on canvas, and as you can see, is dimension 30 centimeters by 40 centimeters. So, Bappy,
Yes, sir.
आप जरा कुछ एक्सप्लेन कीजिए इस आर्टवर्क के बारे में.
ये जो पेंटिंग है, मैं बहुत दिनों से मैं नोटिस कर रहा था, क्योंकि यहाँ पे मदर और चाइल्ड का जो रिलेशन जो है वो दिखाई देता है, मतलब, और जो वो चाइल्ड है उसका मासूमियत और बहुत प्यारा लग रहा है. इसलिए मुझे इस जो बच्चे का जो चाइल्ड का जो एक्सप्रेशन है मुझे इंटरेस्टिंग लगा, इसलिए मैंने ये पेंटिंग बनाई.
बढ़िया. Absolutely fantastic, and it's like an unconditional love of a mother and child. It's beautiful, and I don't know, Bappy, if you want to show up, ये अगर दिखाना चाहते हो फ्रेम में, अगर है, ये फ्रेम में है क्या?
हाँ, yeah, he's holding it up.
Okay.
So Bappy, you need to talk. Keep on talking. हाँ. Please describe the painting again.
ये जो पेंटिंग है, ये ऑयल कलर ऑन कैनवास. सो ये जो पेंटिंग है, इसमें मदर और चाइल्ड का जो प्यार है वो दिखाई देता है, और जो ये चाइल्ड है इसका फेस का जो एक्सप्रेशन है वो मुझे ज़्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग लगा, क्योंकि इस चाइल्ड के फेस में ज़्यादा मासूमियत, ज़्यादा प्यारा लग रहा था मुझे.
Oh, fantastic. And again, while we are preparing for the next art work, I think the Bappy also talked about that the warmth in the face of the mother, and Bappy is very close to his mother, and perhaps again that's a link between the artist and the artist, this fantastic work. Dr. Sinha, anything from mental health point of view?
Yes. Here I would like to mention that having a good relationship, family bonding, or having social support is very important in mental health, because we sometimes see that not having enough social support can actually cause a lot of stress, can trigger a lot of relapse, or can trigger problems in mental health. So if anybody, especially during this lockdown, especially during this pandemic, reach out to your close, near and dear ones. This is my message to all the people, because when people are in pandemic and they are isolated, some of them are isolated, they feel really lonely. This is the time to reach out. So mothers can reach out to the children can reach out to their moms. It doesn't matter how old you are, but this is the time that focus on your relationships, the bonding. I think this is a really important message. I think Bappy is also giving us that we should keep this eternal bond between us and our families. We should pay attention to this.
So true. And while I was listening to your very good explanation from mental health side, there's a question coming from Mimi Gosling. Sorry if I've mispronounced it. Apologies. How long does a painting like that take to complete? And it is wonderful with all the detail. Bappy, ये जो कह रहे हैं, ये कितना time लगा है आपको ये complete करने के लिए ये particular artwork?
एक्चुअली ये पेंटिंग ज़्यादा तो टाइम नहीं लगा, ये 1 वीक या 8 दिन 9 दिन समथिंग ऐसे कंप्लीट किया.
और ये भी वो compliments आपको दे रहा है जो आपको इतना detail in the face, in the clothes, these folds, the skin, it's absolutely wonderful with all the details. So again, thank you so much for your
to let the viewer know that Bappy took 7 days to complete this painting.
Yes, so that's what he said, that 7 days, amazing artwork within just 7 days. What a talent. So we'll move on to our last painting for this show.
We have saved the best for the last.
Yes, absolutely. And here you go, the reflection. Just one, few seconds for the viewers and listen, just to observe and see and just absorb it really. So it's an acrylic on canvas. Again, dimensions are there, 30 centimeters by 40 centimeter if anyone is interested. Bappy, आप कुछ बताइए इस पेंटिंग के बारे में.
ये जो पेंटिंग है ये स्टिलाइट पेंटिंग है, एक्रेलिक कलर मीडियम से बनाया हुआ है. एक दिन ऐसा था, मैं ये जो ऑब्जेक्ट है वाइन का जो बोतल है बहुत दिनों से ये इस बोतल को बनाना चाहता था, तो मैंने क्या किया, एक टेबल में जाके रखा और उसके बाद एक ऑब्जेक्ट से तो पेंटिंग नहीं बनेगी, तो मैंने एक बोतल ले लिया और उसके पीछे रख दिया। और फिर भी मुझे बहुत कमी महसूस हो रहा था, तो मैंने मम्मी को बोला एक कपड़ा दे दो, तो मम्मी ने बोला जाके देख के ले लो, तो मैंने एक कपड़ा देख के ले लिया। तो उसके बाद मैंने क्या किया, इसको एडजस्ट करना स्टार्ट किया, मतलब सेटअप बना रहा था, बहुत सारे एंगल से बना रहा था, लेकिन ये वाला जो एंगल था मुझे इंटरेस्टिंग लगा, क्योंकि यहाँ पे रिफ्लेक्शन जो आता है वो बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग लगता है, बहुत नीट एंड क्लीन आता है, इसलिए मैं इस एंगल से ये वाला पेंटिंग बनाया।
आप थोड़ा पेंटिंग को इधर कर दीजिए, सो
पेंटिंग को थोड़ा पास में लाइए।
हाँ, ब्रिलियंट। आप थोड़ा बताइए अभी इसके बारे में।
ये जो पेंटिंग है एक्रेलिक कलर मीडियम से बनाया हुआ है। सो ये जो वाइन का जो बोतल है, मैं कुछ दिनों से इस बोतल को ड्रॉ करना चाह रहा था, तो लेकिन मैंने एक दिन ऐसा किया, इस बोतल को जाके एक टेबल में रखा, तो मैं देख रहा था, लेकिन ये एक बोतल से तो नहीं हो सकता एक पेंटिंग, इसलिए मुझे और बहुत कमी महसूस हो रहा था, तो मैंने इसके साथ और एक बोतल जोड़ दिया, फिर भी मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगा और भी कमी महसूस हो रहा था। मैंने मम्मी को बोला एक कपड़ा दे दो, तो मम्मी ने बोला देख के ले लो। सो मैंने क्या किया, एक कपड़ा देख के लिया और उसके बैकग्राउंड में रखा। फिर भी मैं बहुत तरीके से इसको सेटअप करने की कोशिश कर रहा था, ये दूसरा एंगल से भी सेटअप कर रहा था, राइट एंगल से भी, लेफ्ट एंगल से भी सेटअप कर रहा था, फिर भी कमी महसूस हो रहा था। लेकिन जो फ्रंट साइड में जो मैं डाला, ये सेटअप किया, तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, जो क्योंकि जो लाइट का जो रिफ्लेक्शन जो आता है वो बहुत मतलब नीट एंड क्लीन आ रहा था, इसलिए मैंने इस एंगल से ये सेटअप करके बनाया।
तो आपके लिए और एक भी कॉम्प्लीमेंट है, ये फ्रॉम विशाल सिन्हा, hallmark of a visual artist. Amazing to see how subconsciously he chose 3 objects is a magic rule of odds. So बापी ये बोल रहा है आप वो 3 ऑब्जेक्ट है, ये थोड़ा मैजिकल है, और ये is fantastic, and again आपको ये तारीफ कर रहे हैं as a visual artist. So
thank you so much.
It's absolutely fascinating, and while looking at it, I'm thinking from mental health side again. It's there are different types of containers you can see, and again sometimes emotions are kept in different containers in different shapes and forms. That doesn't necessarily mean it's good or bad, but we need to look after them, and I think it just gives them the feeling. Reflection is so vital. So is a very appropriate title that is so important to reflect on our emotions. Doesn't matter where it is kept, how it is kept, in what form and shape. So Dr. Sinha, is there anything to add?
Yeah, Dr. Sarkhel, you have given a very beautiful analogy with because we are living in a very fast-paced world, and we hardly get time to reflect on ourselves and forget about reflecting on the environment. We don't even get time to, and that what happens is our emotions gets bottled up. We tend to take in, absorb like a sponge all these different stimuluses, and then what happens if we don't take care of ourselves, if we don't take the time to reflect, then what happens is one day there will be the cork will fly off like a champagne bottle. Maybe not a good analogy, but anyway.
It's very true. And again, as you rightly explained, these themes could be taken in the therapy sessions. So, and again, mindfulness comes to my mind again. It's a great tool to have a reflection, to contain our emotions in a very constructive manner, gives us the avenue how to cope with, these trying times that we are going through, particularly these days. So, Bappy, it's a beautiful artwork. Can't describe, enough. Both a chair, it's fantastic. So again, viewers and listeners, if you are interested, please feel free to contact Bappy to commission any new artwork, or if you like any one of the 9 paintings that we have seen. And there's a question is from Indrani Bhattacharya. What is his inspiration? How does he get these ideas? So Bappy, ये आपके लिए question है तो आपका इंस्पिरेशन कहाँ से मिलते हैं ये आर्ट वर्क बनाने में? आइडियाज कहाँ से आते हैं?
आइडियाज डेली लाइफ का जो सामान, डेली लाइफ का जो होता है, जो पेंटिंग.
Sorry, Bappy, your voice is cracking a bit. We stopped.
What Bappy was trying to say is that he takes inspiration from simple objects of daily life. So, and it's such a beautiful thing that how he converts these daily objects of use of daily, and this old wine bottle that was just in his room or in his house for such a long time, how he put that into a good use. And this actually brings up that everything has its own importance. I think if we think of it in a philosophical way, again from the mental health perspective, is that nothing is insignificant in life. And for people who feel that they don't have much self-esteem, or they feel that they're not significant, actually how Bappy has brought a simple object. He has taken a milk utensil, how he has taken an old wine bottle, and he gave a new life to it. So we should draw some inspiration from Bappy's work to say that no matter, whatever talent we have, it doesn't matter what we have, we should try to make it, turn it, give it a new life. Bappy has created new life.
Absolutely, you're nurturing it so well. And thank you, Indrani Bhattacharya. I hope you got your answer, but it's very, very good question. That is an inspiration, is a motivation. And it can be from as simple as very, very common materials. Those are the roots of his inspiration. So thank you very much for asking the questions. And Bappy, आप भी बहुत अच्छी तरह से ये explain किए. So this is our final piece of art as far as the art exhibition is concerned. And again, these are all available on Bappy's website. That is www.bappyartwork.com. So please go and visit his website. So now over to Dr. Sinha, if you want to introduce the next form of art that we are going to bring in this event.
So it gives me great pleasure to introduce our next event. Is none other than the director of Living Mind, Malini Sarkhel. Malini, you have so many amazing talent, and I think you need there is a portrait behind you. This, can you please tell me a little bit more about that? What was your inspiration to do that? Because I'd love to hear a bit more on that.
Oh, thank you for your kind words, Sharmila. I actually love doing glass painting. I learned it when I was quite young, when I was going to school. And art has always, probably just like Bappy, it's always comforted me, and it's made me happy whenever I did it. And I think this year I really wanted to do something for Rabindranath Tagore's Jayanti. And after years, I think I decided to do some glass painting. So basically it's painting on the glass, and you put foil at the back as well. So that's what you can see the reflection of. I don't know, maybe it's too much light going on the painting as well.
Okay.
Beautiful. But it's always made me feel very content and happy, whenever I do these paintings. And I've done a couple for my son, Change, as well. And I think he's got another big frame for me, and he's waiting for me to work on that one. So, yeah, so that's it really. But I just do it for fun. I'm not a professional. It's just something that helps me, mentally and psychologically.
Yes, that's very beautiful, Malini. But what we are here to see today is a very special dance that you have performed and choreographed. And I won't talk much at the moment, but the dance is amazing, and the video is amazing. So let's let the video do the talking. If you could please play this video, and it's done by Malini, Nandini, and Chitra.
Gun gun gunare gun gun gunare gun gun gunaya gaana re. गुनगुनारे गुनगुनारे गुनगुनाए गाना रे गुनगुनारे गुनगुनारे गुनगुनाए गाना रे गुनगुनारे गुनगुनारे गुनगुनाए गाना रे
Wow, that was an amazing clip. I mean, do you want to talk a bit more about the theme of this dance? Because there was so much vibrancy, so much colors, and it gave me a sense of really happy mood. So tell us a bit, what was the message of this dance? What were you trying to convey?
I think, the main reason we chose this dance was it's more relating to mental health. It's about like somebody who's very sad, and by dancing they're trying to make them happy, and telling them that life is not just about sadness, and you can actually change it to better. And because obviously it's not anxiety, stress, depression there, but we can control those things with medical help and art therapies like these, so that's the thing. But before I continue, I just want to give a disclaimer that the music has been taken from YouTube, and it's widely available to public to use. And it's from the song is from a Bollywood film called Agnipath. It was done in 2012, and the song was sung by Sunidhi Chauhan and Udit Narayan, and it was composed by Ajay Atul, and the lyrics were by Amitabh Bhattacharya. So we just used it to promote mental health. Really, it's not for making any money, and it's mainly for bonding with other people. But in terms of the dance itself, I think there are lots of different emotions that I was going through, and one of the main things was, as soon as I thought of doing a dance with my friends, it was like so much excitement and happiness, because I think that's what always happens, and the three of us are always like that. It's actually four of us, but my other friend Amrit couldn't join because of personal reasons. But we were so excited as soon as I messaged them, and they were like, yes, of course, we'll go for it. And I think this is a way we connect with each other as well, and we are able to meet each other. And I know one of my friends, Nandini, she always says, oh, I've got my vitamins of the day whenever we meet. So, and there's so much laugh and funny stuff that goes around when we are preparing for the video clips and things like that. So there's a lot of fun, and so there's a lot of connection, like even Teerna mentioned earlier. So you don't feel lonely. You feel you're more connected with the world, you've connected with your friends, you're connected with music, so it's a great feeling, and it's just so satisfying.
You've described it really very well, Malini. I think especially during this pandemic, people are feeling isolated, they're feeling lonely, and I think there is a need to connect. And one of my friends has just messaged, it's a good exercise as well. And I think, dance is a really good form of exercise. I would agree to that. I did ask you this question earlier about how dance helps you in your emotional well-being. And I just wondered if you wanted to add anything for this particular theme today, art meets mind, and, you know, dance is a form of art expression as well. So if any last thoughts you had, Malini, and, you know, thank you so much. You've done an amazing job as well organizing this. So any kind of thoughts you had on reflection or anything, you know?
Yeah, I think obviously performing, we've done few stage performances, me and my friends, Chitra, Nandini, Amrit, myself. And obviously there is always anxiety, a bit of anxiety, which is there, which is, I would say, part of mental health, but I think that's kind of slightly normal to be anxious. But at the same time, there's, as I mentioned, there's so much excitement and, you know, happiness. There's a feeling of content, as I said before, and it's also a bit of like mindfulness when you're like actually concentrating on the moves and the technical side of the dance. So it just helps you to come out of other thoughts, you know. You're focusing in the moment, in that particular moment, in that present moment. You're just thinking about that and nothing negative. So I think in that sense, it helps us a lot. And I know my friends are not here, but on their behalf, thank you so much as well for watching us. And, you know, we are really grateful that we are getting all these platforms during this difficult time. And, you know, we are able to cope with these difficult situations at the moment. But really thankful for your kind words as well. Thank you.
It's our pleasure. Thank you, Malini. We'd love to see more dance performance from you and your friends in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Right. So far we have done 9 pieces of fantastic artwork. We had a wonderful, song singing from Teerna, and then the dance by Malini, Chitra, and Nandini. And here is our time now for Q&A, the question and answer sessions. I think there was we have been taking questions as we are going along. So we are more than happy. So there are a few questions and we'll share it. And maybe I could start with Dr. Sinha. There was a first question is it important to make positive art to help with mental health? So that was a question from Malini, actually. So I'll leave it to Dr. Sinha.
Okay. So yes, I think colors play a very important role for an artist. And I think I'll let Bappy speak as well a little bit more if he wants. I think what I feel is, I'm not an artist, but when I used to play with colors and what I used to do, my favorite color I used to go for is the orange, the bright sunrise or the sunset. You know, that color combination is my favorite. And even now I take pictures of sunrise and sunset and I love that color. You know, sometimes it becomes pink, it becomes bloody orange, and sometimes it becomes red. Yes. And it's very vibrant, and that's like my favorite color. It always makes me happy. And I think colors do play, and it depends from people to people. Different colors make them happy. My other favorite color is the color blue. I love the blue, and I love the sea, the water, and the sky, you know. So anything, you know, these colors they represent nature as well. So yeah, I think colors are really, really important. I just wanted to throw this question to Bappy as well and ask him what are his favorite colors and what sort of colors he likes to always put in his paintings. Has he got a special weakness for a few colors?
So Bappy, if you could unmute.
So Bappy, आपका favorite colors क्या है? और आप कौन से color को लेके ज़्यादा paint करना चाहते हैं?
Brown color, black and white.
Okay, because they can blend very easily with other colors, isn't it?
Excellent. Great. So the next question is from Vishal Sinha. Many people underestimate mental health issues. Most of them don't even realize they have the problem. So, and so if I can take that question, and thank you so much, Mr. Sinha, to raise this in this forum. And all I can say, thanks to the viewers and listeners for engaging, because together we can actually combat the stigma. So more we talk about it, people feel more relaxed, and he's also saying that he had been fighting with anxiety for some time, and he wouldn't take lightly, and I'll seek to consult experts. And I think that's a great message, because it is very important to treat mental health as par with physical health. If I've got diabetes, if I've got high blood pressure, I shouldn't be ashamed. Similarly, if I've got anxiety, depression, stress, or anything else about our emotional well-being, society should be accepting freely for us to talk openly about it, ask for help, just like we go to our GP to talk about, or go to our doctors to talk about our pain or any other physical health problems. So I completely agree that please do not underestimate your emotional well-being. The World Health Organization's definition of health particularly includes the mental well-being. So you can see health without the mental health doesn't really exist. So Dr. Sinha, if you want to add anything, please.
I think especially, I mean, I don't want to be too biased, but I know that some cultures, their stigma is more about mental illness. And, and I know in India particularly, there are lots of cultures that don't want to acknowledge mental illness because of fear that the daughter might not get married, or fear that they may not get the job. These are like fears. But if you look at the long run, what the quality of life should be for an individual, a marriage, just getting somebody married or just having us slap them a job is not good enough. Quality of life needs to be looked at. What is, how enriched their life is. And for that reason, I think mental health should be, and you don't have to be mentally ill to look after your mental health. It should be a concern for everyone. And I think even in school, in the grassroots level, paying attention to mental health should be acknowledged. I think, unfortunately, even in this country, there is shame. Some emotions are shamed upon, like you're not allowed to feel angry, you're not allowed to feel sad. Children are taught from a very young age. And this thing about bad emotions and good emotions, and people stigmatize against the bad emotions, whereas these are really important. You need to express yourself, you need to ventilate yourself. If you don't express your emotions, then you don't develop, you don't evolve as a complete human being. So I think from my side, I feel that more work needs to be done. People should be aware of mental health more. I wouldn't say mental illness, but actually I would call it emotional well-being, right. Mental health. And the World Health Organization has actually included the word health. It has included mental health, spiritual well-being, physical well-being, everything. It's all related.
Yes, and I just want to add one more thing that, while talking about the stigma, and particularly in some cultures more than others perhaps, sometimes having mental illness is regarded as someone's weakness, and it is not. There are a number of chemical imbalances that happens in the brain. So there's a lot of physiological things happen. So it is actually, if you think about it, there's a lot of physical abnormalities happen in the brain as well. So it is not just all in the mind. A brain is just another vital organ of the body which needs to be functioning optimally for us to keep going. So it is not anyone's weakness. It is not something we should be ashamed of. Help is available. Many of these illnesses we are talking about, they are treatable conditions. So it would be shame if the society puts that burden on us that we can't come out and talk about it. So I hope that these are the forums where, we can talk about freely, and please spread that awareness with your friends, families, at your workplace, whichever little ways we can. It's all matters, every little helps. So the next question is from Julie Sinha. What is the possible way to come out of anxiety? So Dr. Sinha.
So First of all, anxiety can happen for a lot of reasons, and it is important to find out what is the cause of anxiety if you can. And it is possible, if somebody is suffering from mild anxiety, to overcome it through lots of strategies like mindfulness approaches, meditation, planning your work in advance. And that's why what I talk in stress management is that, I talk about the 4C approach: calm, clarity, choice, and change. So if you know what is causing stress for you, address that and prepare and plan your day. Have more routine, more structures. Sometimes what happens, anxiety happens because you are not well prepared for an exam or not well prepared for an interview or something. And sometimes anxiety is actually fear of the unknown. When we don't know what is going to happen in the future, particularly with this pandemic, people have been suffering from anxiety far more because they don't know what's going to happen. And fear is one of the important factors to address that. Anxiety is all happening within yourself. And people tend to think that it's the environment causing the anxiety, but it's no. We always have a choice on how we can react to a stimulus. So preparing yourself, finding strength, mental strength within. So it's not possible to describe everything within the scope of this, but there's lots of resources. NHS website has lots of free resources, and I do lots of webinars. So, you can see my website in the background. You can always come and join one of my webinars.
That's a wonderful stress management workshop. So I strongly recommend that to contact, Dr. Sinha directly through her website. And we have got another artist. I think, she's waiting as well in the waiting room. So we can also briefly talk about, from her point of view,
yes,
how the music or the singing in her case can help manage anxiety. So Teerna, your experience.
I'm muted. Sorry about that. So thank you for having me on again. And I mean, I think with anxiety, I think music kind of helps sort of like, I think it's very calming, I think it helps you to relax, and it really helps you to just kind of, de-stress, I think. So I think in that sense, I think it definitely does help with anxiety and stress management, and you feel like you can kind of just let go and kind of forget about everything that's going on when you're listening to music, I think. So in that sense, I think anxiety definitely helps with that. It's more sort of as a relaxing sort of experience, and you kind of just forget about everything, really. So I think that's what I think, really.
Yes. And no, thank you very much. Thanks so much. And there was a question again. It's a long question, but I'm trying to get the summary of it from Brahma S. The doctor friend of mine who too is a psychiatric doctor from Delhi tells more that 75% of people in India living in cities under various anxiety. Some are very severe, and all are quite curable. There are various methods to combat other than allopathic drugs. Music, well, it is definitely one of the therapeutic ways. And there was a song from the Hindi film Zoom was used as some sort of therapy. Good to know art too can be therapeutic. So it's good to see that viewers are engaging. What I would say that is important to understand is a combined effect. So it is not about we are discarding the medical aspects at all. It's a combined effect. Having the art therapy does not necessarily negate the need for any other medical or psychiatric treatment. So it's a combined approach. So I think this is very important that Dr. Sinha talked about. It's an integrated approach that will help. It is not to say if you're prescribed any medication for your anxiety and depression, please take it. Please do not think that art is completely replacing that. It's actually a complementary effect, because that is where things can go wrong. So it's very important to have a balanced and integrated approach. It is not one replacing other. It's actually the complementary effect of different modes of intervention for all these problems that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. I couldn't agree with you more there. I was just going to say, it's definitely a combined effect. But I think music does definitely help with that in some way, even if it's a small amount. I think
absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's. I think there's another question, but I think we already talked about best way to tackle the anxiety. We already talked about it.
I have a question for Bappy. Bappy, I just want to ask you, I'll say it in Hindi as well. I just want to ask you, how does art help when you're feeling anxious? जैसे आपको art पेंटिंग कैसे हेल्प करता है जब आप एंग्शियस फील करते हो, जैसे कभी परेशानी होती है, तो फिर आपको आर्ट कैसे हेल्प करता है?
आर्ट मुझे मेरे माइंड को रिलैक्स करता है जब आर्ट में करता हूँ, क्योंकि जो मैं कुछ काम करके जो सेटिस्फाई होता हूँ तो मुझे अच्छा लगता है, मुझे माइंड जो है रिलैक्स हो जाता है।
तो जब जैसे कोई मुश्किल सिचुएशन आती है लाइफ में, तो फिर आप आर्ट करना प्रेफर करते हैं या कुछ और बात करना प्रेफर करते हैं? क्या करना प्रेफर करते हैं? क्या मतलब क्या पसंद है आपको? मैं जब कोई मुश्किल में होता हूँ फिर भी मैं आर्ट के ऊपर फोकस ही रखता हूँ, क्योंकि वो आर्ट करने से मैं सब भूल जाता हूँ। गुड। थैंक यू सो मच।
So we are almost coming to the, can't see any other questions now, but I know that our Jayanta Ray is going to join us very soon. We just got a message. So Dr. Sinha, if you have any sort of final take-home message before we go to the vote of thanks section.
Yes, actually, I had a question for Shelly, actually, if we have some time.
Yes, of course. Yes.
So Shelly, can you tell us your experience about this, arranging this particular event? Why do you think this event is a bit different from other event that you have, promoted? And how did this event make you feel, preparing for this event? How was it a bit different for you? Because you have done this without taking any payment. Everybody has helped out in this event, and you have not even charged anything. So this was an altruistic act from your side. And how was this different for you?
Yeah.
Hi, Jayanta. We'll be with you.
Yeah. So I'm actually, I took a stroll outside, so I thought.
That's fine.
Yeah, we are asking Shelly one question, then we will come back to you.
Sure, I'm here.
Okay, great, thank you. Hang on there. Continue, Shelly.
Yeah, so this is a very, very enriching program. I mean, after watching all this, the session is completely a very different experience for me. During this pandemic, I think Teerna has really rightly pointed out many things that, you need to really focus your mind to certain things that make you feel better, because we have seen so many news and every time it's all disturbing news, deaths and everything. Pandemic is like really taking a toll on us. So through like Bappy, and Bappy is obviously like he's focusing on art and all, but my focus, my skill is in digital. So I tried my best how to make this, be more productive. How to make this lockdown more productive. So to help people, I tried to do a project that is Love and Laughter. And that project, it was really wonderful, because I tried to make my timeline, my Facebook timeline, my pages to be more positive, instead of all this news that, we are getting tons of news which are really, really disturbing. So that Love and Laughter project was very helpful for many people. They told that it has really helped them to come out from this gloomy time. And for 5 questions, there were 5 questions like, what was your favorite? Tell us something about your day. One moment that changed your life. These questions really help them to go back to those days, So in that way, we should channelize, and Dr. Sarkhel has really pointed out really well that we should channelize our thought process and make the better, make the best use of this pandemic also, and help others, have gratitude, which is very important. The time is very difficult, no doubt, but we have to help each other. Like, for example, this event is also helping many people. I'm sure that the questions that are coming, this is like they're waiting for it, that this kind of, event is helping the people to come up and with some questions they're facing, but there are no platforms they can ask, and I think many viewers might have received a lot of help through this event today. So I'm really, really happy and so proud to be a part of this event.
Yes, and I think I want to really pay sincere thanks to you as well. You have just worked tirelessly and made it so successful. Without your effort, really, this program couldn't have happened. So, and just bit curious, really, because obviously for this, I know that previously you were in Delhi, and because of your situation, that you had to come back, and it's all those changes plus having to contact so many people, and how it has helped you positively in your own emotional well-being.
I'm actually like my friends, my family knows that I'm actually a very positive kind of a person. I always try to make others happy around. So luckily, I'm very grateful that I don't get time to spend time with my in-laws, my family. But this pandemic has given me an opportunity to stay with my family. And my father-in-law and mother-in-law, my parents, they really helped me to connect with my roots. So I have made the best use out of this pandemic, like getting connected with my roots. So it has helped me to divert my mind into something knowing, learning something new, which I have never explored. So that has kept me really going to know about my culture, my community, my cuisines. So you have to shift your mind in some way or the other, which can really help you to, forget everything for a moment. And Delhi, I really miss a lot. But Assam, like after coming home for staying for so long, it's also a different experience. So I'm loving it. I'm loving this experience also. It's a good weather over here also.
Thank you. There was one final question, perhaps it has just come through. And again, it is particularly talking about, is from Vishal Sinha. How can someone identify they have anxiety and suffering from mental health, given that most people live in denial? Right. Perhaps if I can start off with, and it's a good question, very valid, very timely. So won't be able to talk about the whole mental health, but perhaps anxiety. The first thing is about acceptance. So as you just said, that because it is quite easy to get into the denial mode, and it is not our fault because somehow our society, our culture almost forces us to be in denial, because people will judge us. People think we are weak. People think, oh, you might be able to handle. Some people use the expressions like, man up, things like that, especially for even men. It can be even more difficult because, you're not allowed to, share a, drop of tear and stuff like that. So it's very important. The first thing is acceptance. And talking about anxiety, it's an interesting one, because anxiety, sometimes we think, oh, we're not worried, we're not anxious. But believe me, anxiety sometimes may not come necessarily as mental worries. It can come and manifest in physical symptoms. For example, breathing problems, for example, tightness in our body. So these are all physical symptoms. So sometimes people think, why in the earth I would think is an anxiety? But in reality, anxiety stimulates some of the parts of the nervous system, and actually you can manifest purely a physical symptom without necessarily just having the worries. So it is important to keep our minds open about it and accepting it, and then that will help paving the way to accept the treatment. And of course, it depends on the type of anxiety, it depends on assessment. So apart from the psychiatric side, as we have just seen, art would be a fantastic complementary approach to manage your anxiety. It will be a positive distraction for you. It is something that you are passionate about, or you are going to be passionate about if you could nurture those events. For example, in Shelly's case, she is passionate about the social media aspects of it. So that gives a lot of passion. For Bappy, it's painting. For Teerna, it's singing. So we've already seen live examples. For Malini and her friends, is dance. So, these are the practical examples where, along with the professional help, you can also start helping yourself by engaging in these activities of art. So I think that hopefully that has answered the questions, but sorry, we won't be able to discuss about the whole mental health aspect. Dr. Sinha, I don't know if you want to add anything to on it.
Yeah. The only thing I would like to add is, I think for anxiety, again, I have reiterated that with Vishal's question, particularly identifying anxiety, the severe form, I'll just tell, if somebody is having difficulty breathing, having headache, constant headache, if somebody has consistently they're worrying about one thing over and over again, most likely chances are they are feeling anxiety and also feeling low in mood. So all these are some symptoms. Sleep may be affected. They may not feel like eating as well. So these are depression and anxiety, or there's some overlap. People can live in denial, but what happens is, if your family members or if your friends tell you that, I think you're having anxiety, don't ignore that. Don't ignore the observations by your families and friends, because sometimes they're your well-wishers. What happens is people get angry when they think they're finding faults or something. But if your loved ones are pointing out that you look stressed, you look anxious, seek help, get some help. And the worst thing that people can do is trying to manage anxiety by drinking alcohol or taking other substances. So don't try to self-medicate. This is my other advice.
Fantastic. Yes, they're very, very useful tips. So thank you everyone for helping in these Q&A sessions, and hope that viewers and listeners have got some answers. Obviously, depending on the severity of your situation, please do not hesitate to ask for professional help, because we don't know the individual. Thank you very much, Jayanta. I can see you are on board now with your video on. So it's a time to start our vote of thanks. So Dr. Sinha, do you want to start?
Yes, thank you. We are all visible now. I think we are in the gallery view. So I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to Living Mind, Malini and Dr. Arghya Sarkhel for organizing this wonderful, unique event. I would like to thank Jayanta from Sangeet Foundation for supporting us. I would like to thank Julie from Ipson Charity for supporting us. I would like to thank Shelly. Shelly, without your help, this event would not have been possible. It would have been a complete outright. We would have to throw it out of the window. Honestly, if you did not show us the constant, you were the catalyst and you were the support, line of communication between us and Bappy. So a huge thanks to you. And I would like to welcome the contribution made by Teerna, our special guest, Teerna, for your wonderful, wonderful song. And you have such a huge talent. Please keep it up. Please continue to sing. We'd like to see more videos.
Thank you.
And yes, and we had a lovely dance performance. Much thanks to Malini, Nandini, and your other friend as well. So yes, thank you so much. You can see I'm not good with names. So, and I have saved my last thanks to my very special guest, Bappy Sinha, our guest of honor today, to this special exhibition. And we have actually, without you, this exhibition would not have existed. Because of your art, we were inspired. So your art is actually inspiring people all around the world. So think of it in this way, you're doing a service to the whole humanity through your art. So that should be your strength, bone of strength. Never give it up, never give up. And we are there to support you. And I would like to invite Dr. Sarkhel to also come with your word of thanks if you want to.
So yes, Dr. Sinha, thank you. You already covered most of it. And I just want to say, I'll start with Bappy actually. And it's immense inspiration for all the viewers and listeners of this program, but also if I could ask everyone who has logged on to the Facebook, and if you could spread this word about the artwork and different forms of art we have seen today, life examples. Other thing I want to point out that we are very fortunate to be supported by Sangeet Foundation and Ipson. Sangeet Foundation I know very closely because they're doing a fantastic work. I don't know how, Jayanta, you can keep up with this. Every weekend from Friday to Sunday is busy. You cannot, get in touch with him so easily. So, but it's, I just want to say that it's a good example how, because it's not about just doing that work. That means you're keeping people busy. in this difficult time, people have, less time to think about this coronavirus deaths and things that media is flooding us with. And again, this bonding between the friends, the families, talking about Facebook. Someone is doing the Facebook Live. The other day I had a chat with, how to set the Zooming session. All these little things that helps a lot, because that prevents us getting burnt out from our day-to-day job. So it's very useful, and apart from the art aspect of it, it's really helpful for the mental health. So my sincere thanks to Jayanta also. You made the time for us today. And Teerna, what can I say? It's a true nightingale. That's only way I could describe you. And you made such a good justice to Louis Armstrong. You brought back 20s from States to here, in 2020. So it's fantastic. Dr. Sinha, without your support, this event could not have happened, and you are doing such a great job in the community, particularly the stress management workshop, which I'll really ask viewers and listeners to tap into. Shelly, honestly, your work, I could not describe anymore. Dr. Sinha already said. I'd always say, if anyone needs any social media projects, their marketing or anything, please contact Dr. Sinha. She is very effective. She has got a massive network, and, with India, also outside India, and we have seen examples through this. Of course, I want to say sincere thanks to Malini, not just because of dance, but also putting all these things together. I just didn't realize, because he's the first event I have done it myself. Before that, I know now, Jayanta, how hard it is. Because in the past, and I got good lessons from Jayanta. Thank you for giving me the tips last minute, even in the evening, struggling with the Zoom. So, but no, the Malini put everything in that, embedded the whole program, and, it's wonderful. And also making the videos. So sincere thanks. All the dance video you have seen, the Teerna song, all these video clips are made in their houses, in their gardens. And I don't know, all these softwares and things is well beyond me anyway. And again, it's a positive distraction. It's good for all our mental health. And so, yeah. The last thing I want to say, that this is actually our first Art Meets Mind project. So we are hoping to come back next year with perhaps a bit more international audience, and we're hoping to include some different forms of art from all over the world. So if you know anyone you want to feature, get in touch with us. Myself or Dr. Sinha or Malini here, we are happy to organize, we're happy to showcase your talent. And so we will come back again with our Art Meets Mind #2 event in 2021. Hopefully by that time, we'll see the better end of the COVID. And so thank you all, really.
And I just want to say,
Thank you so much.
Teerna, I'm waiting for your album, because I know I'll be the first one to get it.
Me too. I'll buy it as well.
Well, you already have 2 people in queue now.
Yeah. Bappy, do you want to say anything? कुछ कहना चाहते हैं आप?
मैं अपने लैंग्वेज से बोलना चाहता हूँ.
हाँ, sure.
गिरी थानी हादिरे मी एपितो मुक्ति को हादिये जो दिची याद रहा है. हादिये मोरा सपोर्ट कराने का मिनियम बा हादिये thank you मातोमी. And
so, Shelly, do you want to translate it, please?
Yeah. Bappy is telling everyone, all the viewers from the who are watching the event all over the world, and especially the people from our community, from his village, from his parents, everyone who are watching, that thank you so much for watching, and please keep on supporting.
Right. Thank you. Jayanta, few words from you last before we go.
Yeah, so thank you so much. This was a fabulous program. I've seen it in snatches. I've not had the opportunity to see the whole program. I'll go back and watch it as well. Now, you have made me very curious about the music and the dance, and I want to watch them end to end after this. And that is something I really missed out. But this is a fabulous kind of initiative, fabulous opportunity for artists, and I think that really goes to help people address their mental health in terms of the fact that keeps them engaged, like you rightly said. I see it all the time on Sangeet Foundation page, and there's a Sangeet Foundation art and photography page as well, where it keeps them occupied. People are focused on that, people are working on that, and there are people who consume that as well. So people who come back and see, wow, fabulous art, and then that takes their mind off their regular grind and the regular worry of saying that what's going to happen next, is everybody safe, so many, and it takes their mind off the statistics, you see.
Absolutely.
And I think this is a fabulous program. Thank you so much, both of you. I think I would, and thank you for having me on this, and this is really a absolute pleasure and a delight to be with you.
No, thank you everyone. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Teerna, any last word from you?
I just have one thing for the members for Amar Porichoy. In my language, I just want to tell all the talented artists in Amar Porichoy that there will be a chance. Again, we will have this guy. I hope everyone gets an opportunity. So Bappy is an example. So never lose hope. Always trust on your talent and follow your heart. Me happy re heicha korori happy re mane happy star chile dare miniam para thaka arta aji Bappy program achile hanor ka miniam para thaka turi arta jita talented artist asi uta mane esade mane hope na hare yo nijor talent tu hanore trust koriyo and mane follow your heart tumar mane ashan hoyse ta purai jisade Bappy ta Bappy example anar one mate me happy pudoshokore mane thaka dori dhanyabad.
Excellent, thank you. Teerna, sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. No, it's fine. Yeah. I really just wanted to say thank you to everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me to have the opportunity to kind of, just express myself on this platform. And I mean, as I said before, mental health is so prevalent in this day and age. And the sad thing is that it's still really not talked about, and it's still still a very, very kind of big stigma. And I think it's really nice that we kind of have these platforms to kind of normalize talking about it, because I think it kind of makes us feel connected, as I said before, and it kind of makes us feel kind of less alone. And it helps us to, I think it kind of just helps us stay connected. And I think especially with sort of talking about music and mental health in particular, and just art in general, I think people can really just use it as a way to express themselves, and in a way it also kind of helps them to feel united in this journey, because it's tough, it is a very tough thing, and to have that sort of outlet to kind of express yourself, or sort of kind of just focus your mind, is so important. So I really just wanted to say thank you for letting me have this platform to talk about these things, because I do need to talk about more.
On that positive note of connection, I also want to end this, on behalf of Dr. Sinha and I, as well as Bappy and Shelly, for everyone, want to convey sincere thanks to all the viewers and listeners, who from time to time, came. Some of us, watched throughout, some of us, got the snippets of it. But thank you so much. Without your engagement, it could not have been successful. So again, stay in touch with us. Any questions we couldn't have captured today, we're happy to answer back again. And but thank you everyone for your effort.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.